A whole lot more. Of course, Leaf is more than just the music. It's the arts, the food, the vendors, and all of the beauty of Lake Eden. For more information and to get your tickets, go to theleaf.org. Proudly sponsored by iHeartMedia Asheville.
From the Ingalls Studios, this is ESPN Asheville, WPEK, W225CJ Fairview, WMXF Waynesville, and iHeart radio station.
Now, your chance to win $1,000. Just enter this nationwide keyword on our website, GRAND. That's GRAND. Enter it now.
Log on now to ESPNAVL.com.
The pounding begins. The wagons are circled. Every wind is raidered. It's football time in America, and this republic has never been stronger. The Sportsocracy, Beer City's best sports talk, live from the Ingalls studio.
It is ESPN Asheville, 92.9 FM, 880 AM, 1400. The Sportsocracy, heard everywhere you go on the iHeartRadio app. We're seen everywhere on YouTube. Go to thesportsocracy.com, click the live video link, subscribe to the channel. Join us in the chat for an Overreaction Monday, because, I mean, there was a lot that happened over the weekend. I guess it's a Victory Monday, technically.
It is for me, because the Denver Broncos are awful. We got our first one of these already.
Oh,
I'm your huckleberry.
Mike Talley, welcome to the House of Reprehensibles. We have cake. Feel free to comment your drug of choice in the comments. But I want to say this, and I've been waiting to say this since about 10:05 last night. How about them Cowboys? Holy Lord have mercy, you got smoked like a deli meat.
yeah, they did.
I did not see that coming under any stretch of the imagination. I never thought that San Francisco was that good, and I'll readily admit that. I am also fully prepared to say, as long as Dak Prescott is the quarterback of the Dallas Cowboys, stop believing in them. Don't believe in them ever. Ever again. If I ever say that again, Dallas Cowboys are the best team in the NFL, punch me in the face immediately. I'm giving you the license to do it.
Let's just go, is Dak Prescott still their quarterback?
He's fine. But I feel like Dak Prescott is exactly what I have accused Brock Purdy of being, which is you're the king of average, and there's nothing around you that's good enough for you to win at a high level with that. I don't know that I have ever seen a team that I thought that highly of get dominated on every level. It didn't matter. You couldn't run the ball to save your life. You couldn't throw on that defense, and you let Brock Purdy. It, honest to God, looked at a point to me like they were drawing plays up in the dirt. I think they saw the Detroit Lions run a play, and they went, hey, let's try that. I mean, I don't know that we've ever run it before. I would almost bet you they haven't. Hey, let's just see if it works.
You don't think they practice flea flickers in practice?
Not like that. I mean, that's a different brand of flea flicker. But good Lord have mercy. Patrick Holt in our YouTube comments, is San Francisco that good, or is Dallas just mediocre like usual? Yes.
San Francisco's that good.
They're not that good.
They are
They're
that
not.
good.
There's no team in the history of the NFL that is good enough to make you look like that if you're not mediocre. Sorry, if you're good, you don't come out in a situation like that where you did not have a litany of games in this week that were must-watch television. I mean, for the love of God, we're talking about Nathaniel Hackett beating the Denver Broncos. That's how weak this week was. But we, just like Carrie Underwood says every week, we've been waiting all week for Sunday night.
Yep.
And what did you do? Grumperfest 99. Micah Parsons, best defensive player in the NFL, forgot he was on the field for a full half.
Yeah.
Didn't even think about him being on the field.
Was that the second half of the game?
I'm not going to lie to you. At halftime, I went, I think I got this. We went to Jelly Roll and Eric Church out at Bristol Motor Speedway, and I walked a lot, and I had 143 fireballs. So by halftime, I went, I think I got what's happening here. I'm going to go take a bath.
Yeah.
And that's exactly what I did. Poured some Epsom salts, lit a candle, Had my little no nicotine thing, 2 days, no lung treats. I'm on edge a little bit.
Yeah.
We're getting there.
Well, good. We're all glad that you're growing in that fashion.
Let's just hope we're not.
But
let's hope I'm not growing in
your
the other
Dallas
fact.
Cowboy hatred, it seems to be growing as well. And
it's not a hatred.
Look,
it's just you are who we think you are every single year, because we fall for this every year, and you can change the pieces. There are a couple pieces that you cannot change. The coach is going to be a puppet of Jerry Jones. I don't care if the name changes. This one looks like Kirby and Tank had a child, and you threw him out there and told me he was this offensive guru. You got annihilated by Steve Wilkes. I know a lot of you Panther fans really love him. He is the definition of mediocre and has been his entire career. He was running circles around you, just laughing at, you really think this is going to work against me? Oh, we don't have a corner that can cover CeeDee Lamb. Don't matter. Let him have his 4 catches for 49 yards that were as empty calories as a Jell-O pudding cup.
Yep.
This is who you are. All right? You do something enough times. It's who you are. All right? If you're married and you cheat on your wife 1 time a year, you're a cheater. That's who you are. If you buy a new car and 6 months from now you wreck it, and then you do that 1 more time, like 7 more times, you're a bad driver.
So the Dallas Cowboys, who famously had the 40-0 beatdown and were immediately the darling of the NFL, we were all hoodwinked again, and this is just a mediocre to average team.
Look at the NFC right now. In the second hour of this program, we're going to talk about NFC contenders and pretenders to make the playoffs. Dallas Cowboys are going to make the playoffs.
Yep.
Can they beat any team that they play? Because you're not winning that division. Sorry, you're giving Philadelphia an extra lap on you every time you lose, and they ain't losing this week either against the Zach Wilson-led New York Jets.
The Dallas Cowboys are exactly who I thought they were. Now, I didn't expect that to be that bad.
I didn't think any team in the NFL could beat them like that.
Yeah, when you kept going on about the line is wrong and this is the easiest game of the week to pick, I was thinking the exact same thing you were on the other side.
I didn't say this was the easiest game of the week to pick. I said that about Buffalo, and I was right.
You did. You mentioned it about this game, and I went, no, it's actually the other way, because San Francisco, to me, has always looked like the better team, the better, well-oiled machine.
Well, and we're going to talk about we're going to talk about the San Francisco side of this in the next segment.
Right. But what I'm saying is the Dallas Cowboys, to me, have always been the number 3 team in the NFC.
I'm not sure they're 3. I'm not sure they're 3.
You think they're worse than the Detroit Lions?
Oh, God, yeah. Oh, good Lord, yeah.
Okay.
Oh, good Lord. Brock Purdy just eviscerated you because Kyle Shanahan gets so creative that he uses that aggressiveness against you. You don't think our buddy Ben Johnson's going to do that same thing? Really? That's not even close to me.
Wow.
Philadelphia, San Francisco, and Detroit are the 3 best teams in the NFC. Then you get into a little hodgepodge of, from one week to the next, you can be really good or you can just take a big old grumper in your pants. And that's the Seattle Seahawks, and they did it against the Rams. The Cowboys, who have now done it twice. I want to put the Rams in there, but I'm not going to because you are just god-awful defensively. I would say the Seahawks and the Cowboys are probably in a spot by themselves. And you're closer to the Atlanta Falcons than you are to the Detroit Lions. You call it an overreaction all you want to.
Yeah, I think that's a vast overreaction.
What do they do well? Walking away from last night, what do they do well?
They did nothing well last night, and that
What's the
speaks
second
to
time you've
San
done
Francisco more than it does
Does it
to
speak
Dallas.
to Arizona? Because they did the exact same thing to you.
Yeah.
See, that's the thing. I can take a blip. We had a bad week. Seattle. Yep. All right, Seattle had one bad week. You take that Rams game out, they are who we thought they were. The Dallas Cowboys have now had 2 of those. One of them, yes, was against the 49ers, who are, I believe, inarguably the best team in the NFL. through 5 weeks of the season. You also had one against the Cardinals. And this is almost like probation, all right? I gave you a layup of you did something stupid and I put you on probation, but I told you, if you do this again, you're going to catch the punishment for both. Well, welcome Dallas Cowboy fan that can't stop getting liquored up and driving around town square.
Right.
I mean, you got 3 wins against the New England Patriots, the New York Jets, and the New York Giants.
Mm-hmm.
No person with an IQ above salad dressing doesn't think those 3 teams are 3 of the 10 worst teams in the NFL.
Agreed.
Awesome. So you can beat the sin out of bad teams.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think they're going into Seattle and beating Seattle? No shot. No shot. Absolutely no shot.
Okay.
You didn't run the ball well.
Mm-hmm.
Mike McCarthy.
They'll never be able to do it again. Like, they'll never be able to go up to Seattle and run the ball. If you can't do it in San Francisco, can't do it in Seattle.
Well, that's not what I said.
Well,
I said,
that's what you're saying. You're saying that this team,
if that's what I wanted to say, that's what I would say. What I'm saying is this team has holes at every layer. Now that you don't have Trayvon Diggs, your secondary sucks. And literally, Kyle Shanahan sat here and played with you. Oh, you want to put Trayvon Diggs on him? Cool, I'll go to the other side. Because everything you have out here is god-awful. George Kittle, you knew it was coming. Mm-hmm. They still couldn't stop it. Mm-hmm. On the second touchdown, it was the first one. The first one was just the routine basic, hey, I'm wide open at the back of the end zone. The safety called out who the play was going to. They still got it wrong. That's hard to do. When you look at 11 guys and go, that's who they're throwing to, and yet somehow you still go, oh, shoot, we forgot all about him. I just said it.
Right.
Dallas Cowboys are they're exactly who everybody tried to tell me when I jumped on this bandwagon. You Micah Parsons real well.
Yep.
Your offensive play caller is a joke. Is an absolute joke. So you want to beat up on bad teams? Cool. Go 10-7. Walk into the playoffs. You're going to have to beat that team, Philadelphia. You probably won't have to go to Seattle because they're not going to win that division. I'm not sure you can beat who wins the South in their house. New Orleans Saints, that team that just annihilated Bill Belichick. You feel good about them going into New Orleans? Because I don't.
Yeah, I think they had a bad day. And I think you picked a bad day to have a bad day.
Awesome. That's your second bad day.
Sure, and I get it.
Man, you're making an awful big habit of having bad days.
I'm the one that said after the Arizona game was, maybe these guys aren't really all they're cracked up to be. But I'm not ready to jump out and say that they're just a mediocre team. I mean, this is still a good football team.
If you just think they're in the top 5 of the NFC, if they're better than 5 in the NFC right now, I honestly think you're actively smoking crack. Philadelphia will toy with them.
No doubt.
San Francisco will toy with them.
Yes.
I don't know how you're supposed to cover DK Metcalf and Tyler Lockett. I don't know how you're going to creatively deal with Ben Johnson. To me, you're irrelevant.
Just irrelevant. Okay.
You'll make the playoffs. You'll go in and get beat just like you do every single year.
Okay. The San Francisco 49ers did the one thing to the Dallas Cowboys that you can't do, and that is just get out, punch them in the face, and then you get so far ahead that what do you have to do? You have to have Dak Prescott make you the plays.
Well, I would agree with that, except you couldn't run when you were trying to.
And I get it.
I mean, if this game had stayed,
nobody's going to run the ball against this
You're
team.
the second person I've heard say that today, that San Francisco jumped out on top of them.
Yes.
They were up 21-7. Game is still very much in play.
Mm-hmm.
You got the ball with roughly a minute left, and after 2 plays, you rolled over and died because you went, there is a better chance that we score for them than we score for ourselves.
Mm-hmm.
That's everything I needed to see. That's exactly when I went, I know how this is going to go. Now, I didn't expect Dak to throw 3 interceptions in a row.
Right.
That was even a little further to the outside.
Yeah. But this is what happens with Dak.
Okay.
When Dak gets into these positions, he thinks he has to do it, right? He has to make the throw. He has to push it into a window. He has to make the play. He has to do, and he gets into trouble.
All right, let me ask you a question, and maybe this will more hammer home my point on Dallas. Dak Prescott is a top blank quarterback.
15.
Tony Pollard in that run game is top what in the NFL?
5.
Okay, I'm going to give you a shot to do that again.
Uh-huh.
Because
What do you mean,
not.
statistically speaking, this season?
I'm talking about
or
in
where
terms
I feel
of,
they should be.
Of where you are in the NFL. I would say top 10 or 12, and I think I'm being nice.
Okay.
You, Tony Pollard, fine, but I'm starting to understand why you did not give him a full workload, because he just regresses every single week. Receiving core, you're what? Top 10?
Maybe, yeah.
And your defense.
Mm-hmm.
You Micah Parsons real well.
Mm-hmm.
You have one sieve on the opposite side of your defense, and your safeties aren't very good. So you're a top 10-ish team in the league.
Mm-hmm.
That makes you the 5th best team in the NFC. We've been almost dead split on the two conferences every time we've done power rankings.
Mm-hmm.
You're not elite at anything. You were when you had Gilmore and Trayvon Diggs, because you could get up in 1 and 2 receivers' faces. You still struggled a little bit in the slot at times, but Bland was was doing enough for that not to be a complete liability.
Mm-hmm.
And you were getting home so fast that it didn't matter. Well, now look at those 3 teams and realize that 2 of the 3 of them are in the top 5 in the NFL in sacks allowed. You've played one team with a legitimate offensive line, and I'm pretty sure Brock Purdy took his jersey from last night and folded it up and put it back in the dresser so he could wear it next week.
Right. I get what you're saying.
You're a wild card team that will go into the playoffs, and you might represent yourself well. You might even win a game.
Mm-hmm.
Then you're going to come up against this team. You're going to come up against Philadelphia. You're going to come up against Detroit. And you're not in their weight class.
Interesting. You're in the Sportsocracy. It's ESPN Asheville, 92.9 FM, 880 AM, and 1400. The Asheville Championship returns to Harrah's Cherokee Center in Asheville November 10th and 12th. This year's field is the best yet. The Clemson Tigers, Maryland Terrapins, Davidson Wildcats, and the Blazers of UAB. 4 exciting matchups with a champion to be crowned at one of the premier early season tournaments in college basketball. For more information and to get your tickets, go to AshevilleChampionship.com. That's AshevilleChampionship.com. It all starts in Asheville November 10th and 12th. Proudly sponsored by Ingalls Markets.
I believe real estate isn't about properties. It's about people. I'm Clarissa Hyatt-Zach with eXp Realty, serving all of Western North Carolina. Navigating the home buying and selling journey can feel overwhelming at times, and that's why having an agent who cares about you and your needs is key. I'm a native of Western North Carolina, and I close over a home a week. I'm an expert in the market, pricing my sellers correctly to net you the most money, and working as a skilled negotiator for my buyers. Please give me a call today at 828-774-6343 to set up a complimentary market analysis.
The season we've all been waiting for is here. No, not that one. The season of the Big Orange Tent is underway in Western North Carolina. The area's largest selection of Halloween costumes, decorations, and accessories is at the Big Orange Tent at the Asheville Mall. Halloween Express is your one-stop shop for adult and child costumes, superheroes, horror icons, inflatable suits. You can find it all under the Big Orange Tent at the Asheville Mall. 10 to 8 Monday through Saturday, 12 to 6 on Sundays.
As the leaves change, leave the hiring to Indeed. Their all-in-one hiring platform helps you attract, interview, and hire candidates all from one place. And Indeed's interview tool lets you schedule and conduct virtual interviews right from their website. Visit Indeed.com/credit.
Gillette Intimate gives guys a gentle and easy shave on there. And around there. And even under there. Don't treat your groin like junk. Respect it with Gillette Intimate, the best a man can get. Buy now at a retailer near you.
At Summit Dental, Dr. Reinhardt believes success is defined by the quality of care, not by the number of patients seen each day. That's why Summit Dental welcomes Dr. Tompkins to the practice. Dr. Tompkins is highly trained with a doctorate in dental surgery and rigorous training here in Asheville. He's committed to providing the highest level of care and believes this is best achieved through open communication and compassionate care. Summit Dental is growing and accepting new patients. Check them out online at AshevilleSummitDental.com. That's AshevilleSummitDental.com.
A horrific car accident left Paula with major injuries and surgery after surgery.
I got to the point where I really couldn't walk. I had to resign from work. I was really just laying in bed. It was terrible. I would go back under the knife.
She missed working and traveling, but all that was about to change. QC Kinetics used natural biologics to treat Paula. No foreign substances. They provided regenerative treatments that helped subside the pain and restore her quality quality of life.
Oh my gosh, I can't believe it. I was feeling more movement and doing stuff. And then I started crying. I'm like, I can't believe it.
For Paula, this moment was extremely emotional.
I couldn't do nothing. And now I'm working, and I was on my feet for 7.5 hours, and I feel good. I got my life back because of QC Kinetics.
Call QC Kinetics now for your consultation.
Call QC Kinetics, 828-333-9517. That's 828-333-9517. 828-333-9517.
The Sportsocracy.
You were just dumping a bag of hammers.
It is ESPN Asheville, and it is an Overreaction Monday. The Dallas Cowboys get absolutely handled last night, dominated by the San Francisco 49ers.
And now it's time for a fait accompli.
Wow, 42-10.
You know, I like being right more than I like being alive.
Yes, sir, we do.
So now I have to admit where I was wrong. San Francisco's the best team in the NFL, and I'm not sure it's even close.
Yep.
I am still not to the Brock Purdy's the MVP, which is where Vegas is right now. I'm not there.
Uh-huh.
But I was too low on Brock Purdy.
Mm-hmm.
He's better than I thought.
Yes, he is.
And there's one very specific reason why. He's always on time. All right, so here's how the dichotomy of my day went yesterday. I went from watching the gross fest of the Denver Broncos and the New York Jets, which we're going to talk about later, and Zach Wilson and Russell Wilson, who have broke watches because they're always late. Then I watched Dak Prescott, who seems to be running behind quite often.
Mm-hmm.
And then I watched Brock Purdy and just realized you're never behind on a throw. When that guy flashes open, they never show a highlight where you go, right here was where the ball was supposed to come out. And he's a hitch late. He's a step late. It never happens. And I think this is why there was a rumor that Kyle Shanahan was so high on Mac Jones. I'm not sure. I know definitively he couldn't have done this, but this is the quarterback he wants.
Mm-hmm.
This is why Trey Lance didn't work, because he was always late in the limited action that we saw. Brock Purdy does exactly what he's told to do, nothing more, nothing less.
Mm-hmm.
And he allows Kyle Shanahan to draw up these master classes offensively every single week. You've got Christian McCaffrey back behind him that you have to know where he is on every play. There was a play last night where they isolated, I think it was Debo out of the backfield. They lined Debo up at running back, and then he just goes out on it's a phantom motion. He's not actually going out. He's just trying to isolate who's on him. All Brock Purdy did was send him out and go, linebacker, nothing you do is going to change this. Because there is nothing based on what I am seeing that you could do that will not leave him wide open one-on-one on that linebacker that can't cover it.
Right.
It's brilliant. It's the same thing I see Ben Johnson doing with the Lions.
Mm-hmm.
But Shanahan's more efficient at it. And his running back's not David Montgomery. Man, I hate him.
Why do you hate him so much?
Let's give a dude 407 carries that averages 8 feet per carry.
I mean, that was the layup yesterday. It was the layup, and you talked yourself out of it.
He wasn't all that great.
Oh, God, he had like 25 points in DFS. It was a lot. It was a lot.
Well, he was touchdown dependent, exactly like I said.
Right.
The only thing is that there were only a handful of other good running backs. Good thing is I had 2 of them.
Yeah. Well, I'm glad you finally are coming around on Brock Purdy is not a terrible quarterback.
I never said he was terrible. I never said you're doing that Justin Jefferson thing all over again.
Special.
And I still don't believe he's special. I think he has a special brain.
See, that's
he has a special brain.
The thing.
Justin Parton in the YouTube comments said Purdy's efficiency reminds me of Breeze. You beat me to the punch.
Mm-hmm.
Drew Brees was nothing special, except between the ears.
Mm-hmm. And that's what.
And I'm not sure that's not exactly.
You don't
where
have
you're
to be special physically.
Right?
Right?
I detest this comparison to Tom Brady.
Mm-hmm.
You did it earlier,
Absolutely,
and I felt blood coming out of my ear. Those two are not. There is no similarity here.
Oh, I disagree.
Well, you're saying that because one of them went 199 in the 6th round, and the other one was the last pick of the draft.
No,
I evaluated both of them. Tom Brady was an actual legit prospect, and then Lloyd Carr fell in love with Drew Henson and tried to shoehorn him in. No, there were teams that thought Tom Brady was a draftable quarterback.
Mm-hmm.
Every person I know in the NFL, not one of them had a draftable grade on Brock Purdy.
Sure.
But that's why this works. This works because Kyle Shanahan needs a coach on the field that has enough arm talent, and he has more arm talent than I thought he did, that has enough arm talent to make that difficult throw, but I'm not going to ask you to do that very often. Usually what I'm going to do is give you 3 reads. 3. That's it. I watched him do it all night. You got the primary read, you got the secondary read, and then there's a check down. And he is doing that so quickly, disseminating what the defense is giving him, that you can't adjust to it. And I don't know how anybody stops it. Because you look at Ayuk, who has become everything that they wanted him to be. Debo's the move piece, and now you got another one of those. In Christian McCaffrey that you don't know exactly where he's going, and he creates matchup nightmares everywhere. And I didn't even mention George Kittle.
Nope. No, you didn't.
And the other place I was wrong is that offensive line is somehow much better than I thought they were. They moved Micah Parsons around last night just exactly like I thought they would. It didn't matter.
No, they handled it.
It did not matter.
There was always somebody there to stand in 11's way, to make him just slow. And you kept saying, Micah Parsons, he didn't show up last night. I forgot he was on the field for half. That's because San Francisco and the scheme. Look, you know me, I'm not the X's and O's guy, but I can look, and when you have a play and I know that there's going to be at least 2 bodies that go on 11, you're doing something right. And they did it every play last night. It was there was always somebody secondary coming with the contact or to just push him off before he could get to Brock Purdy, just to save him that little extra sliver of time, and then Brock's going to deliver the ball exactly where it needs to go. That when I make the comparison with him and Tom Brady, the things that I see there are similar things that we see in him and Tom.
I see nothing similar between the two of them.
Well, that's crazy to me because nobody had pocket presence in the NFL like Tom Brady, and Brock Purdy does exactly the same things.
Well,
he's dancing around the pocket.
Is where
he's stepping up within the framework. He's not tucking it and running it like a lot of guys are.
Well, I'm going to say this, and I'm not directly saying this to you. I'm saying it to anybody that's made this comparison. If you watch the two of them, game for game, and you knew nothing about them, take out where they were drafted, there is zero comparison between the two, and it's disrespectful to Tom. Tom did all kinds of things pre-snap. A lot of these are generated for Purdy, and he has to disseminate what's happening as it's going. It's 2 completely different ways of playing quarterback. I actually, and I see that one of our Saints fans, cousin Colin, doesn't love the Breeze comparison. I think it's the best comparison there is, and let me tell you why. In San Diego, Drew Brees was good, not great. He got into a system with Sean Payton that fit him perfectly. Where I got stuck here is that I guess I didn't give Kyle Shanahan enough credit because he goes into the playoffs and drops off. And I look now at Purdy and how you fit. I still believe that with 28 other NFL teams, Brock Purdy is a backup quarterback in this league. But here's where I got lost. I got lost after the comma. It doesn't matter. They're not asking him to play for the Jets or play for the Giants. You're playing on the most talented roster in the league with one of the most original creative play callers. I almost turned that into one word. In this league, you're doing what you're asked to do. And that's where it's hard for some people like me that do a lot of draft things. I'm trying to shoehorn you into 32 teams. You don't shoehorn into 32 teams.
No,
you play for one.
Yeah. I got one team.
And I missed it on Brock Purdy.
I got one team, and this works better than anybody has ever worked in the system before. And, you know, there's a reason. There's a reason why Vegas has now got him at the front of the MVP race. It's because he's the quarterback of the best team on the planet, right? You always get that with the best player on the best or the leader of.
Well, he's not
the
winning
best
MVP.
Team. You don't think so?
He's not winning MVP. There's too many players on that team that will take too much kudos away from him. Plus the fact that we have Tua Tagovailoa, who may throw for 9,000 yards. So he ain't winning MVP. Do not throw your money away on that. The further down this line we go, but that's not a slight. To say you're not the MVP of the league, I'm not slighting you. I'm admitting that I got this wrong. It's very impressive. San Francisco is the best team in the league, and I'm not sure that anybody's even close. I really believe that.
Yep.
And Gage Camplin in our YouTube comments,
I'm your huckleberry,
said if the Eagles fix the red zone issues, look out. They miss Shane Steichen. I agree with you that Philadelphia is good, and they are getting better by the week. You're 4 steps behind San Francisco right now. And that's not a shot because you're the only team in the NFL that's 4 steps behind them. Everybody else, they're so far out in front of you that you're going to need them to stub their toe to catch them.
Yep. And the important thing is we don't have to play them for a while. You know, if we're the Philadelphia Eagles, we're looking at this going, you know what? I've got, what's that, 8 weeks now? 6 weeks? 7 weeks? Something like that to get ready for this Philadelphia team that we're going to see. And we'll see. I think mark it down on your calendars. That's the game of the year.
I would agree. I would agree. And I think now you're on a collision course for a repeat of the conference championship game last year. I just have a funny feeling it's going to be in San Francisco this year. And that stadium was insanely loud.
Yes, they were. They were. It was a great night for the San Francisco faithful, and great night for San Francisco and Brock Purdy, because now that Jeremy Green's on his side, nothing's holding him back, right?
John Seagrove in the YouTube comments from the UK said he's been a 49ers fan since the 80s, and this may be the most impressive team I've seen on the field. That should really tell you everything you need to know, considering that means he lived through the Montana Rice years. He lived through the Steve Young Rice years. That says a lot. And Andrew Ayers asked, he's a top 15 quarterback. You willing to admit that yet? Yep, sure am. I'm not really willing to go because that's kind of a biased stat. In this offense, he might be a top 5 quarterback in the league. Do I think he's a top 5 talent? No, but that's where I missed it. I don't care how good of a talent you are. I care how good you are right here. And he's phenomenal, and they are a juggernaut.
You're in the Sportsocracy, and that is not an overreaction. On an Overreaction Monday, you're on ESPN Asheville.
This is your Exergen Temporal Scanner weather forecast on ESPN Asheville.
Sunny and milder for us out here this afternoon. Breezy winds generally out of the southwest, 15 to 20 miles per hour at times. Highs right around 70. Not as chilly tonight as we were last night. Partly cloudy skies, middle to upper 40s. Sunshine, breezy, and low 70s for Tuesday. More clouds and sunshine for Wednesday. Afternoon highs in the low 70s. Partly cloudy, middle 70s Thursday. I'm meteorologist Ken Boone at the Weather Channel.
This report is sponsored by Indeed.com. As the leaves change, leave the hiring to Indeed. Their all-in-one hiring platform helps you attract, interview, and hire candidates all from one place. And Indeed's interview tool lets you schedule and conduct virtual interviews right from their website. Visit Indeed.com/credit.
Haywood Community College offers over 30 programs of study to obtain your associate's degree or specialized certification. We can help you find the perfect program to pursue your educational journey while staying local. Offering small class sizes with flexible classroom delivery options and transferable degrees and credits to numerous North Carolina universities, there's no telling where HCC could lead you. Save time and money by staying local. Visit haywood.edu for more information.
Running a small business is no small task. At Home Trust Bank, we work hard to prepare businesses for whatever tomorrow may bring. Your dreams are our business, and we have local experts who can help you plan for a successful future. Dependable guidance you need and service you'll appreciate. At Home Trust Bank, we take your small business banking personally. Visit your local Home Trust branch or anytime at htb.com. Member FDIC.
The iHeartRadio app and the NFL right in your pocket. The home of the NFL Podcast Network, covering all 32 NFL teams, plus all the expert advice to win your fantasy league. And, of course, live NFL games. Touchdown! Download the free iHeartRadio app today. Free never sounded so good.
Seems like COVID's everywhere again, but there's good news from Pfizer. This season's updated COVID-19 shots are now available for ages 6 months and up, and they're designed to better protect against recent variants. Ask your pharmacist or doctor and schedule at vaccines.gov. Sponsored by Pfizer.
Some have said that rallying middle schoolers is a lot like herding cats. To the moms and dads out there who control the chaos and make herding cats look more like corralling kittens, we at Ingles tip our hats. Ingles, all the ingredients for family.
If cleanliness is next to godliness, look around the car right now. Is that very godly? Look, life comes at you fast, but so does WNC Auto Detailing. They have the tools to make your interior look like it's coming off the showroom floor. You don't believe me? Check them out on Instagram. All that filth and years of stains disappear. WNC Auto Detailing does full interior and exterior details with paint correction, and they do wax and ceramic coatings. Call WNC Auto Detailing at 455-3700. Premium care with a Southern hospitality touch. We're back counting down to kickoff. Let's look at today's 3 keys to premium pre-gaming with Beast Unleashed, presented by Monster Brewing. Number 1, beat the heat.
Unleash the beast with bold, familiar flavors, 0 caffeine, and 0 sugar.
Number 2, running the option.
There's 4 to choose from: White Haze, Peach Perfect, Scary Berries, and my personal favorite, Mean Green.
And number 3, at 6% ABV, Max Protect.
Always drink responsibly, and you must be 21 or over.
Beast Unleashed. Available at your local retailer.
Boy, you must be outside your mind.
The Sportsocracy.
Just a bit outside. He tried the corner and missed.
It is ESPN Asheville. Time to get just a bit outside here. Overreaction Monday in the Sportsocracy. And it is not an overreaction to say that Mario Cristobal's a moron. Did you see how that happened? The Miami Hurricanes playing the Georgia Tech Yellow Jackets of all teams. This is the team that, Jeremy, you've tried to sell to me. Oh, Miami, they're a threat in the ACC. This is a team that went up against the Georgia Tech. Well, you know what I mean. And they come down to the end of the ball game, and they run a 10-play, 5.5-minute drive to eat up the clock because they've got a lead. Well, with just over 30 seconds left in the ball game, they decided, let's run it one more time. And as we all know, you play with fate, and the gods are going to kick you in the keister.
You fall, you will quickly foe.
At that point, it was that Miami fumbles, Georgia Tech recovers, and then in a span of 45 seconds, let them go 75 yards for the game-winning touchdown at the buzzer. And Miami turns their season into excrement on one boneheaded play where your coach didn't go, oh, wait, there's less time on the clock than there is on the play clock? Maybe we should just take a knee and be gone.
I had several people on Twitter ask me for my response. I did not see this until Sunday morning because we were at the Jelly Roll concert, and I've thought about it, and I've really collected my thoughts, and here is my reaction to what happened to Miami. That's a shame. You really hate to see that. That's
there it is. I was waiting on that.
That's a special brand of stupid right there.
It is.
That's I've seen a lot, in this game, and that was a new one.
Yep. I forever connected in my mind the Miami Hurricanes and the Dallas Cowboys back in the 90s. The whole Jimmy Johnson, Michael Irvin thing. Like, it just made sense. It really makes sense now. Because to me, Dallas didn't do anything this stupid, but your failure of this weekend was about as equal.
Did you watch any of the North Carolina Tar Heels, undefeated Tar Heels?
You damn right I did.
And the Syracuse Orange. Did you happen to see an athletic play made by Ben Kiernan? It's the punter for North Carolina. He lines up, it's 4th and 3. Carolina's up 3-0. About 5.5 minutes left to go in the first quarter. Well, he goes to do the little Australian rules punt thing. Well, Syracuse kind of saw that coming, and they blocked it. Well, it kind of went up in the air, and he just snatches it out of the air and runs for a first down. There's only one problem with when you do that, because, see, you're a whittle feller. You're just a little itty-bitty punter. and there are some very large men on the other side. He got hit quite possibly as hard as I have ever seen a player get hit. He got hit so hard they had to replace his helmet. He posted a picture on social media of his face mask. It's dented all the way in.
Oh, dang.
Like, it looks like it had to be touching his nose when they pried this thing off of him. I don't know that I've ever seen that. At least not that. I mean, I've seen them get dented and things like that. This one has about a 6-inch bend in it from where he got obliterated.
Like his was made out of aluminum or something.
Oh, I've always thought that. Like, little punter boy, you should have a much bigger cage on your helmet.
Because you need more protection.
Because if you get hit, you might die.
You really try to stay away from hits like that when you're that little, but
one would think.
Yeah. So he got matered.
Oh yeah.
And just T's and P's.
Oh no, he's fine. He hopped right back out. He was the one that shared the picture of his face mask. Like,
nice.
Hey, look what happened. Somebody answer that phone, please.
Right. Hey, your chance to win coming up tomorrow right here in the Sportsocracy. We're going to have some more tickets to give away for the Asheville Championships live at the Harris Cherokee Center, Asheville, November 10th and 12th. We got 2 tickets going out each and every day for each session, so you can go to both days on us. Tuesdays and Thursdays until the tournament comes up. It is November the 10th and the 12th. Harris Cherokee Center, Asheville. Go to AshevilleChampionship.com to get your tickets and for more info. All right, it's time to go Overreaction Monday, Contender, Pretender. Who does Jeremy now say is dog water?
Well, in the AFC, would you like to hear the list of teams that don't have 2 or 3 wins?
Yes.
The Chiefs and the Dolphins are both 4-1.
Okay.
The Patriots and the Broncos are both 1-4. The Raiders are 1-3, but they could go to 2-3 tonight.
Mm-hmm.
Pick coming up for that in the next segment. All other 11 teams in the AFC either have 2 or 3 wins. I think we can agree on a few of them. Jacksonville, your high side is really good.
Yes.
Baltimore, your high side is really good.
Yes.
Buffalo, your high side is really good.
Yes.
Cleveland, I would say your high side is really good.
Mm-hmm.
But there are a few teams that I've looked at the schedule and looked at how things break down, and I just want to see if you think these teams will still be in the picture when we're 3 weeks out and it's in the hunt.
Okay.
Cincinnati Bengals.
Yeah, they'll be in the hunt.
Yeah, they did something yesterday that I hadn't seen them do. They protected Joe Burrow.
Mm-hmm.
You remember that thing about the calf where, he can't get one downfield? Yeah. He apparently heard a lot of us say that and went, hey, y'all, watch this.
Yep.
Bet you I can.
Mm-hmm.
Bet I can, and I bet I can do it a few times.
And there were a couple where he laid into it, where you could see where he took the hop, skip, and a jump forward and went, look at my foot now.
It appears that the calf is getting better.
Mm-hmm.
Now, with that being said, you now have a 3-week stretch that is evil. You play the Seahawks at home this week.
Mm-hmm.
Then is your bye week at the 49ers and the Bills. And it ain't great after that because you go Texans at the Ravens, Steelers at the Jaguars.
Mm-hmm.
This is a team that if they are able to stay in the hunt and somehow sneak into the playoffs, this is who everybody wants to keep out.
Yes.
Because if you get this right, you're still every bit as good as we thought you were. It's just started really clunky.
Mm-hmm.
And the more time we give Joe to get healthy, the worse off it's going to be for all of us.
Mm-hmm. And that's a team that I look at and I go, they can get hot and they can be a thorn for everybody.
They can be a fly in the ointment.
I look at them against Seattle and go, I don't think Seattle gets after the quarterback very well, and I think you could outscore them.
They can. It just depends on the day. It is inconsistent.
Mm-hmm.
49ers, you win that
trounced.
game and you go into the bye week 3-3, you come out with a whole lot of momentum.
Right.
You give San Francisco that first loss, we have fawed and foed.
That will definitely be warning sign. But even if you don't, just be competitive. You're competitive in that game. It comes down to the end. The Buffalo Bills, they can give you a game anywhere. So that's, you can go in and you can beat Buffalo at home. And then we're talking about a different team.
So
because none of those other teams really scare me all that much.
So we're both looking at the Cincinnati Bengals saying playoff contender.
Absolutely.
Pittsburgh Steelers, 3-2.
Yeah.
Had one of the weirdest comebacks I have ever seen in my life.
Mm-hmm.
Contender, pretender. And now this is just to make the playoffs.
Then they're definitely a contender to make the playoffs. I don't know. This team is so damn inconsistent that it's driving me, and I'm sure all Steelers fans, crazy. I don't know one week to another which team is going to come out here. The only solid thing that I have is my defense is really good.
Your defense is really good at times.
Mm-hmm.
Lamar Jackson got pretty much whatever he wanted yesterday. You got insanely lucky to come out of that with a win, and I'm going to say pretender.
Really?
I'm just looking at the schedule going, you play way too many teams that are way too good offensively, and I don't think Kenny Pickett can do it.
Mm-hmm.
One drive is all he had the entire game. And it just so happened it wasn't even a busted coverage. It was just George Pickens beat Marlon Humphrey aggressively.
Right.
Yeah, I don't think Marlon Humphrey knew he was as fast as he is. He played that really tight and then went, uh-oh.
There's a couple more that are going to find that out.
I would agree. And I'm looking at Pittsburgh's got the bye this week. I'm curious how they come out after that on the road against the Rams because that Rams team is interesting to me, and they are everything that Pittsburgh does not want to play. So I will say they're a contender. I do not see a path with Kenny Pickett to make the playoffs.
Or a pretender, not contender.
Not a contender.
Yes.
They are a pretender.
Yes. Okay. All right.
Indianapolis Colts. You don't want to say it.
I don't want to say it.
But you almost have to.
I don't have to. I don't have to say it.
Look at their schedule and tell me you don't have to say it.
Yeah. Oh,
you get
God.
a lot of Saints, Panthers, Patriots, Buccaneers, Titans, Steelers, Falcons, Raiders, Texans. 100% they're a contender, whether they should be or not. They are going to be in the thick of this, whether they should be or not.
Maybe. It's a big maybe for me.
And now I'm going to ask a question, and it's, are they better off with Gardner Minshew or Anthony Richardson?
Gardner.
It's Gardner, and it's not close.
Yeah, they're better off with Gardner.
I am in 5 games, and it's actually 4 because he sat 1 entirely. Anthony Richardson has been put out of 3 games in 4.
Mm-hmm.
And now with this AC joint thing, this is all pain tolerance. It's on the throwing shoulder. I would say he's out for 2 or 3 weeks. And I'm not sure you're not better off with Gardner.
You back him off, see what you can do. You back him off, see what you can do, bench him for a little while, and you come through the Jaguars, Browns, Saints stretch here over the next 3 games. You win one of those.
Well, because this is 2 defenses. I don't want Anthony Richardson seeing the Browns.
Nope.
I don't want him seeing the Saints.
Nope.
I'll bring him back on that in Charlotte against Carolina, and then go Patriots, Buccaneers, and that Titans team.
Yep.
And I think I'll be just fine.
Maybe.
I think the Indianapolis Colts are a contender.
I do not.
I don't see any way they're not.
Yeah, I'm not. I'm not.
When you can
it.
run the ball like that, Zach Moss is pretty good. And you got Jonathan Taylor that will be back to full speed within a couple weeks. I don't see how you can say pretender. I really don't. Even if you don't believe in them, the schedule is awful.
I don't disagree. However, they're also not a team that I'm gonna that I can give the you're playing the Patriots. So
you should.
Why?
Any team other than New York Jets plays the Patriots. Take the other side. We'll talk about New England later.
Yeah. The Bucks, that's not a given. The Titans,
I'm
they
just
can
gonna
get after you.
The Titans is a given. Did you watch yesterday? Because I did. Way more of it than I should have. So I'm going to assume you're going to say the Titans and the Texans are both pretenders too.
Yes.
I can get down with the Titans.
Mm-hmm.
The Texans are going to be that scrappy, annoying team of the AFC. You just have a talent deficiency.
Mm-hmm.
And it showed yesterday. You let Desmond Ridder look like an NFL quarterback, and he's not. I did love that they kept showing him going, look how good he is. No, he's not. No, he's not. This defense is just not good.
Woo, he threw for over 300 yards. Yeah, well, that's fine.
All right, I have two more that I think are at least worth debating.
Okay.
Los Angeles Chargers, contender or pretender?
I'm going to say pretender.
I am too.
I really don't
I'm going
know.
to say the exact opposite thing that I said about the Indianapolis Colts about the Chargers. You are not good enough to come through. You're not coached well enough to come through what you've got to do here.
I'd agree.
You play the Cowboys next week on Monday Night Football, and to say they're going to be a touch perturbed is the understatement of the year. Then you go at the Chiefs. Still got a game with the Lions, at the Packers once it gets cold, the Ravens, the Bills, and the Chiefs again. There's 8 games that I could easily see you losing.
Absolutely.
And you're at a coaching disadvantage in all of them. You got plenty of talent. That's never been the problem. I just don't know that you're going to beat well-coached teams. You play with fire against Josh McDaniels, you can sneak out of it and be hunky-dunky.
Yep. I'm definitely not betting on it.
I'm not either.
So I'm not. I'll say they're in the pretender category.
And now I'm going to ask one more.
Mm-hmm.
The New York Jets. You're going to laugh. You heard Rex Ryan give this impassioned plea.
I did. Look, earlier today on Greeny, Rex Ryan was going all just, Mr. Spitting Facts here.
Yeah.
And
facts don't care about your feelings.
And he was spitting facts about the fact that this is a very good defensive team. That
it's not in the first half.
eventually.
In the second half, they go to the locker room and they go, oh, wait, we're good at defense. Maybe we should do that.
And eventually you got to figure out if you're Nathaniel Hackett, which I think this past week, if he hasn't gotten it by now, then he needs to be tested
100%.
for some kind of a illness.
Yeah. Can I say it? Can I say it? Because I said it 1,000 times yesterday. I've been waiting to say it on the microphone. Run the damn ball!
That you need to give Breece Hall the ball, right?
He's averaging 7.2 yards a carry.
Mm-hmm. And he had, 22 carries yesterday?
Yes.
So, I mean, he looks like he's learning. Now, if they're going to continue to do that, limit the ability of Zach Wilson to throw the game away for you. Maybe, he started making the case that Dalvin Cook is, looking better, more in shape week by week, and so some point he becomes a threat as well. And then you got a two-headed monster, but we got Michael Carter, and he just on and on and on. This could be a good team.
I don't care about any of the things you just said. None of it. I heard Rex Ryan's whole impassioned plea. I don't care about anything you just said.
Okay.
Other than Christian McCaffrey, Breece Hall is the best running back in this league, and I don't think anybody's even close to him. The Denver Broncos had 8 people in the box the entire game. I get the defense is bad. I don't care. You have a quarterback that definitively can't beat you.
Mm-hmm.
Didn't matter.
Mm-hmm.
Didn't matter. Hasn't mattered all season long. Among running backs that have more than 35 carries, Devin A-Chain's averaging 13 yards a carry. It's on 38 carries.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So he's still very much a specialty back.
Right.
How many other players in the NFL that qualify are within 2 yards of carry of Breece Hall?
None.
It's 0. It's 0 with no quarterback. And I saw enough yesterday from Zach to go, you know what? We can win in spite of you, probably not because of you. And the schedule leans out. I'm not telling you they're going to make the playoffs. I'm not saying that. I'm saying they're going to hang around and be on the bottom of that graphic way longer than you want them to.
What'd I tell you, Jeremy, 3 weeks ago when you said, I'm done with this team? They're going to make you care. You're in the Sportsocracy. Jeremy's got bangers for Monday Night Football coming up next.
The season we've all been waiting for is here. No, not that one. The season of the Big Orange Tent is underway in Western North Carolina. The area's largest selection of Halloween costumes, decorations, and accessories is at the Big Orange Tent at the Asheville Mall. Halloween Express is your one-stop shop for adult and child costumes, superheroes, horror icons, inflatable suits. You can find it all under the Big Orange Tent at the Asheville Mall. 10 to 8 Monday through Saturday, 12 to 6 on Sundays.
Running a small business is no small task. At Home Trust Bank, we work hard to prepare businesses for whatever tomorrow may bring. Your dreams are our business, and we have local experts who can help you plan for a successful future. Dependable guidance you need and service you'll appreciate. At Home Trust Bank, we take your small business banking personally. Visit your local Home Trust branch or anytime at htb.com. Member FDIC.
Real estate isn't about properties, it's about people. I'm Clarissa Hyatt-Zack with eXp Realty, your native realtor serving all of Western North Carolina. I will work hard for you, and I believe in doing the right thing every time. I market each of my listings to reach out-of-town buyers. I use a professional photographer and drone video on every single listing, as well as collaborate with agents across the country to find your buyer. Check me out online at clarissasellswnc.com or give me a call at 828-774-6343. It would be my pleasure to assist you through the real estate process.
Don't miss Zero Res Carpet and Air Duct Cleaning's thrilling fall sale. Call now and mention ESPN Asheville to save $30 on your next cleaning, or schedule online at ZeroResAsheville.com. You can't miss the Zero Res Carpet and Air Duct Cleaning fall sale.
This new Wendy's Frosty flavor is way too exciting to keep under wraps. It's a brand new, first-of-its-kind flavor. Get this, pumpkin spice. I know, right? It's so good. It's rich, it's cozy. It's the perfect flavor for some fall Frosty time. Watch, everyone will see it and jump on the bandwagon. Grab a never-before-seen Pumpkin Spice Frosty or Pumpkin Spice Frosty Cream Cold Brew today when you choose wisely. Choose Wendy's.
Limited time only. Participating U.S. Wendy's. Vanilla Frosty is temporarily unavailable.
You know when you wake up and your mouth feels gross and you just can't wait to brush your teeth to get that clean, fresh feeling again? That's exactly how millions of Navage users feel when they use powered suction to rinse out their noses every day, just like brushing their teeth. Once you're able to breathe deeply without congestion, you never want to be without it. That's why so many people rave about Navage, with over 100,000 online reviews. Feel the Navage difference for yourself. In less than a minute a day, you'll feel immediate relief from seasonal allergies and congestion after the very first use. Navage will also help you sleep deeper, snore less, and feel healthier, naturally, without drugs. Start breathing clearly again with Navage. Navage is available at Walmart, Walgreens, Target, CVS, Rite Aid, and online at Navage.com. Navage. Navage. Clean nose, healthy life.
The Gillette Intimate Trimmer gives you a gentle, easy way to trim your pubic region. Or you could try waxing. Nope. From America's #1 trusted men's grooming brand, the best a man can get, down there. Buy Gillette Intimate at a retailer near you.
Coffee still closes on. Get them the money. Then when you get the money, you get the power. That watch costs more than your car. Then when you get the power, then you get the woman.
Monday Night Football. Yeah, we're starting a streak here of primetime games where the NFL is just looking at us going, it's two NFL teams. You're going to watch it because it's better than anything else on television. And it starts tonight with the Green Bay Packers and the Las Vegas Raiders. This is Green on Green, brought to you by Ingles Markets. Low prices, love the savings. The Raiders are a 2.5-point favorite at home. Over-unders 46.5. I am very much of the belief when you hear hoofbeats, it makes a lot more sense to assume horses than zebras. The Raiders are not a very good team, but they're a 2.5-point favorite at home. What does that tell you? That tells you that Vegas doesn't really believe in Green Bay, and they're baiting you into doing something stupid. And I may or may not be falling for it because I'm taking the Raiders minus the 2.5. I'll go under the 46.5. Neither of these offenses really move me, and neither of these defenses really move me. But this is one of those times that you're setting a number begging for people to do the wrong thing, and I'll be one of them. Raiders are going to win this game outright. I'll say your final score is 20-17, Las Vegas Raiders. For more, find us on all the social medias at the Sportsocracy. And as always, love the savings with Ingles, love the winnings with me. Mull it out.
The Sportsocracy.
We treat star athletes better because they're better people.
That's not fair.
Life isn't fair, kiddo. Get used to it.
This is your Exergen Temporal Scanner weather forecast on ESPN Asheville.
Sunny and milder force out here this afternoon. Breezy winds generally out of the southwest, 15 to 20 miles per hour at times. Highs right around 70. Not as chilly tonight as we were last night. Partly cloudy skies, middle to upper 40s. Sunshine, breezy, and low 70s for Tuesday. More clouds and sunshine for Wednesday. Afternoon highs in the low 70s. Partly cloudy, middle 70s Thursday. I'm meteorologist Ken Boone at the Weather Channel.
Looking for an electrician job that has it all? Then join Emory Electric. Competitive pay? Check. A supportive team? Check. A clear path to career growth? Check. Yes, Emory Electric has it all. They offer the best pay rates because Emory Electric values its team. Ready to light up your career? Call Emory Electric at 828-658-8300 or visit EmoryElectric.com/careers. That's EMORY electric.com.
From the Ingalls Studios, this is ESPN Asheville, WPEK, W225CJ Fairview, WMXF Waynesville, and iHeart radio station.
Now, your chance to win $1,000. Just enter this nationwide keyword on our website. Win. That's win. Enter it now.
Log on now to ESPNAVL.com. And good luck from your friends at ESPN Asheville.
The Sportsocracy.
It fires me up, man. I love it. Say it one more time.
The Sportsocracy.
Shake it back!
Beer City's best sports talk.
It is gross.
Just earlier.
They are mature, actually. You just have to get to know them better.
Your lunchtime dose of dumbassery. Live from the Ingalls Studio.
And welcome back into the Sportsocracy on ESPN Asheville, 92.9 FM, 880 AM, 1400. The Sportsocracy heard everywhere on the iHeartRadio app, and we are seen everywhere on YouTube. Go to thesportsocracy.com. Click the live video link, subscribe to the channel. So you can join us in the chat. It is an Overreaction Monday, and, well, we did the AFC's Pretenders and Contenders.
We'll do the NFC later.
Yeah, we're going to do the NFC coming up in a minute. But it's time to talk some college football because, well, there's one team that made me a very happy man this weekend. Actually, there's two teams that made me a very happy man this weekend, but one of them is at the top of the heap. At number one, the Georgia Bulldogs. You ready to take anything back you said? Or No? Still just overrated?
You're not the number one team in the country, but it was an impressive win over Kentucky.
Okay.
Okay. And in the next 3 weeks, you play Vanderbilt, Florida, and Missouri. I'm going to say the same thing I said previously.
Mm-hmm.
You better make damn sure you don't lose one of those, because if you do, you will be Texas level irrelevant.
Absolutely. No doubt about it. Poor Texas.
Oh,
no.
Shoot.
Oh, well, did you see how?
Does anybody else find it ironic
dejected McConaughey was?
Do you find it ironic that Texas and Dallas are in the same state, and yet they do the same thing to you every single year? Hey, you believe in them? You believe in them? And Lucy pulls the football. Oh, and he went flying.
It's almost as if they're from New York.
No, we don't ever have hope. You give me hope. We dash that in 4 plays. Okay. At this point, I'm just trying to find a reason to keep watching it on Sunday. That's all I got.
Right. Contender or pretender? Who you starting with?
Well, I think the one to start with is the narrative of the weekend. Brent Venables in Oklahoma are back. You better pray to God you don't make this playoff, because you will get embarrassed by every single one.
You're not a believer.
I'm not.
After they stood up to Texas and that tough defense.
I was more disappointed in Texas than I was proud of Oklahoma.
Really? Okay.
I don't buy that team. I just don't.
Why? What is it about them that you don't like?
What do you do particularly well? Do you defend well at all? No. You play somebody with big boy talent. All right, I'm curious. What do you think the spread would be if Oklahoma played Georgia right
now? I'd say Georgia minus 17.
If it's anything less than 20.5, I'll bet my house on it.
Really?
No doubt. I'm just embarrassed. I can actually tell you what it would be. 14.5.
14.5. There you go. That's respectable.
I don't see any shots you can hold up to that.
Yeah,
I think Oklahoma is a fictitious team that plays one team the entire year. I won't be shocked if you play them in the Big 12 title game and they beat you, and then you're both sitting on the sidewalk going, "Oh shoot, yeah, we gotta go to the SEC and hang out with them." I I don't buy Brent Venables.
Don't buy it at all.
By the way, is Brent Venables directly related to death?
He is.
That is one of the weirdest looking humans I've ever seen in my life.
He
they
is.
put that gold cowboy hat on him, and I went, you should not do that because you don't. That looks weird on you.
No, yeah, he's definitely cousins with the guy who played Death in the Bill and Ted Bogus Adventure movie. I think he's also related to Adam Silver.
No doubt.
And their great-great-grandfather was Nosferatu.
I don't know who that is, but I'm going to assume that was funny.
The first Dracula, the old Dracula that they show on all the commercials.
Yeah.
He's been on a few Reese Cup commercials. I know you've seen it.
Yeah, Brent Venables is the only person that lives in the sun and yet never gets tan. How do you do that? You spend your whole life outside, and yet you're transparent.
Mm-hmm.
Whatever. I don't see a path that Oklahoma makes the playoff. Short of every team in front of them loses to somebody that they should.
I was going to say, if they go undefeated in the Big 12 and they win the Big 12 championship, and there's 4 teams that have one loss ahead, in the rankings with them, they're getting in.
Well, and here's my problem with that. I told you this before the show. All right, Georgia doesn't play a team that they can lose to. They just don't. I mean, Tennessee might give you a game, maybe.
Mm-hmm.
I don't see a loss on the schedule, so let's just pencil them in. If Michigan and Ohio State, the only team I could see either one of them losing to is the other one, and I don't buy Ohio State at all.
Or Penn State. Penn State could beat Ohio State.
They could.
I feel like this is the closest James Franklin's ever been to actually knocking off the big dogs.
I would agree with that.
Okay. I think they could very easily pull that. So,
but Penn State's kind of that's kind of the point I'm trying to make. Is all right, so let's say Ohio State has a win over Notre Dame, has a win over Penn State. They lose to Michigan at the end of the regular season, then beat them in the Big Ten title game. Who are you leaving out?
Mm-hmm.
Either one of them for Oklahoma, because to me there's not a snowball's chance in Atlanta. I would leave either of those teams out because you beat SMU. Yeah, I'm good.
Yeah.
This is the same argument I made with Cincinnati. All right, I know exactly where you're at here, and it's not in the class of these other guys.
This lines up perfectly for what we have seen with Pac-12 teams forever, right?
Well, that's my fear, is that now you're going to leave out the Pac-12 champion because nobody watches their games because they're late at night, and 4 of them would beat Oklahoma like a kettle drum.
Look, I don't think the committee's getting this wrong regardless. The committee, I trust
have way more faith in that committee than I do.
Absolutely. I trust the committee to pull us 4 teams that, by the end of it, we'll figure it out. It'll all sort itself out. I think at this point, to say that Oklahoma is a pretender is a bit of an overreaction.
Well, I will
you have
say
to have a lot of
they're
help for that to happen.
They're a contender to make it. They're not a contender with anybody else that's going to make it.
I would agree with that. They'll get killed.
Well, I kind of I moved the line here with Oklahoma. All right,
Okay.
there's probably a way that some real stupid person will go, hey, they're undefeated. Awesome. They beat a cooking school. Sweet.
Beating Texas.
Liberty's undefeated too. You want to put them in the playoff? Oh no, that's stupid. Well, so is Oklahoma.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I get what you're saying about being disappointed in Texas, but I feel like you should give Oklahoma some credit for going in there and beating them.
You beat them at the Horn, and that's the only team you play all year.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't.
Is
really
this
care.
Is this the Boise State argument? Is this the only game you got to get up for?
Oh yeah, 100%. I mean, literally, Vegas is telling you what they think about Oklahoma.
Okay.
If they played again, guess what? Texas would still be a 5-point favorite.
Yes.
That tells you everything you need to know. There's nothing impressive about this at all. Okay, so you win a crap conference. Good for you. Your non-conference schedule was Arkansas State and Louisiana Pine Bluff Technical School for plumbers and electricians. I don't care that you beat them all. I haven't been wrong on Brent Venables in 2 years, and I'm not wrong now. The minute they play anybody other than Texas, it's a rivalry game. You get up for it.
Yep.
Pittsburgh Steelers just beat the Baltimore Ravens. Do you think they're better than them? Neither do I. I will say Oklahoma is a contender that may masquerade as they're a pretender that may masquerade as a contender until they play an actual contender.
I can get down with you on that one.
I'm going to use the Cat Williams line. Yeah, it looked like a phantom till a phantom drive by.
We always end up
and then it doesn't anymore.
Right. We always end up with at least one, don't we? I mean, more years than not, we always end up with one CFP contender who doesn't belong, who gets boat raced.
I have a funny feeling Oklahoma's going to take care of themselves.
They probably will.
Kansas. Got to go to Kansas.
When you got to try to keep Kansas from putting up 40 on you, that could be a little difficult. But we'll see. I watched a lot of the Oklahoma-Texas game, and I felt like it was a pretty well-played game. Texas made some drastic mistakes, sure, but those are going to happen in a very tough game. I give them credit for winning. Whether or not they can win the whole thing, I don't believe in that.
All right, my next one, contender or pretender, The Ohio State University.
I'm going to say...
The fact you thought about that
I'm going to say pretender.
I am too.
Nothing you do really overly impresses me. Yes, getting a win against Notre Dame was great. But you look at that offense and the weapons that Kyle McCord has to work with, and if I was one of them, if I was Egbuka or Marvin Harrison Jr. or who, I would beat him senseless.
Kyle McCord?
Yeah, because
he's not good at
all night, or all afternoon against Maryland, it was underthrow after underthrow after underthrow, and they kept having to cut back to come to the ball, and it's just he's not good.
No, he's not good at football.
He's not good at all, and
they're
you can't win.
They're either going to be unveiled by Penn State or they're going to be unveiled by Michigan. One or the other. And Ryan Day, you can fake tough guy all you want to. You know it as well as we do. You played heads up with Maryland. Mm-hmm. And look, Maryland, that's a fun little scrappy story, and they can score some points. I want you to really go back and maybe look at a recruiting ranking. Look at how many guys they just had drafted. That's not a team that should be heads up with you in your house. There's not. So I'm with you. I think Ohio State's a pretender, and Michigan is going to do just whew.
Yeah.
Michigan is going to do things to you that they would not allow to be aired on cable television.
Yeah, I don't like Ohio State against Penn State in 2 weeks, and I don't like them against Michigan at the end of the season. I think that very well ends up being Michigan and Penn State for the Big Ten title, because we're not doing divisions anymore, right? That's how we're doing this now.
Correct.
Okay.
My next one, I feel like you should go first because it's my team.
Okay.
The Florida State Seminoles.
I mean, yeah, you're a contender.
I don't agree with you.
You're better than Oklahoma. And we can go the same path if you want to, of this is a pretender masking as a contender, because you have a path. You run the table in the ACC, and sure.
And by the way, you
help.
should run the table.
Mm-hmm.
This is another team. If you lose a game, we're done talking about you. But now I'm just looking at the impediments in your way. You got a 6-0 Louisville. You got a 5-0 North Carolina.
Mm-hmm.
They both score points.
Yep.
And you tend to let teams that don't score points well score them.
Mm-hmm.
Since that LSU game, they have looked increasingly less impressive every single week. And I just have this weird feeling Florida State's going to get caught by somebody stupid. Like Duke at home.
Mm-hmm.
You're playing them in Tallahassee, and somehow they beat you, or that one doesn't really resonate as much as it did. At Florida,
mm-hmm.
who's not nearly good enough to play with you, but that's a rivalry game too.
The problem with being the top dog is every week, what's that other team
You're catching
doing?
Somebody's best shot.
Exactly. Everybody's coming after Florida State because we all remember. Right? We all remember what it was like when they ruled the ACC, and we don't want it.
It would do a lot for me to see them freight train Syracuse and Duke at home the next 2 weeks.
Mm-hmm. Well, you freight train Syracuse, you're not going to impress anybody.
Yeah, Carolina just did that. So
that's not. I mean, Carolina just proved that's not hard to do. Duke, I'll give you that. Other than that, there's not another game on there that I look at and I go, yeah, that's okay.
All right, I
that's going to prove something to me.
I got two more, and they're in the same conference.
Okay.
I'm going to start with the one that doesn't have a caveat.
Mm-hmm.
USC.
Okay.
Are you a contender or a pretender?
I will say Pretender.
I will say that for right now because you have gotten insanely lucky 2 weeks in a row. Really 3 because you didn't play well against Arizona State either. But that triple overtime game with Arizona, that was one of my biggest bets of the weekend, and I told you that in Bangers on Friday.
Mm-hmm.
USC is going to let way too many teams play with them. Do you know what their schedule looks like for the rest of the year?
It's not good.
They do not have a bye week left.
Yeah.
So all 6 of these games are in consecutive weeks.
Okay.
At Notre Dame, Utah in L.A., at Cal, Washington in L.A., at Oregon, UCLA.
Good luck.
And then you have to play, if you get through that whole thing, you got to play one of those teams again in the Pac-12 title game.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to say USC is a contender. The offense is special. But Lincoln Riley has the same problem at USC that he had at Oklahoma. You cannot stop anybody.
Mm-hmm.
You let mediocre quarterbacks, mediocre programs. I mean, you do realize that was Arizona's backup quarterback, right?
I didn't know that.
DeLaura did not play. This was Fafita or something like that.
Okay.
I can't remember his first name. He threw for 300 yards and 5 touchdowns. The backup quarterback at Arizona just did that to you.
Noah Fafita.
What do you think Sam Hartman's going to do to you?
Mm-hmm.
Even if you beat them, you're showing teams every single week, this is our deficiency.
Yep.
We have to score every time we touch the ball.
Cam Rising, is he coming back for the Utah game?
I've heard he could redshirt.
I mean, I don't think it'd be a bad idea at this point.
Maybe a 25-year-old 19th-year senior, but
hey, whatever it takes. Stetson Bennett won a title at 37.
Well, of course, I was about to say, of course he did. I think his son was a walk-on at Georgia when he won that.
And then you got to take on Michael Penix and Bo Nix as well on that schedule. I mean, it's just not good. So I mean, I'm in the pretender area with USC because that is a hell of a schedule to have to play, and you haven't looked dominant. Now, who's the other one?
The other one is whoever wins Oregon-Washington this week.
Ah, yes.
To me, that team has to be in the top 4.
Well, whoever
when the
that
poll
is,
comes out, you have to be in the top 4.
Well, whoever that is a contender. I mean, you run through the toughest conference in America, you have to get some flowers for that, right?
I would agree.
Yeah, I mean,
to me, the Pac-12 champion has to be in, even if they have a loss. It's too good.
Maybe so.
You say maybe. I don't understand maybe. I don't. You look at those two schedules back to back. What is the incentive for me to play anybody ever?
Mm-hmm.
If you're going to let in Oklahoma or even, I mean, I'm saying this as a lifelong Florida State fan. You let Florida State or Oklahoma in over what comes out of the Pac-12, you're doing it wrong. You're sending a horrible message of the only thing we care about is the number in that second column.
Mm-hmm.
We do not care who you did it against.
Mm-hmm.
Because the Pac-12 is a juggernaut. And the ACC is not bad. It's just Florida State doesn't have to play any of those teams. You played Clemson. You have to play Duke. You have to play Miami, who is still ranked. And I cannot figure out how somebody wrote that down. And I really don't understand how 70 of you
I was
going to
say a bunch of people's did.
How did you get to 25 and go, oh, shoot.
Guess it's Miami.
That team that doesn't understand what victory formation is. Let's put them in there. I don't know.
Yeah, I think I don't know about the whole one-loss thing. I understand completely what you're saying. We've done it for years with everybody, right? Michigan and Ohio State from the Big Ten last year had to be in because that was tough, and they beat each other.
This is a year where I'm seeing the problem before the problem becomes a problem.
Alabama and Georgia. Remember, both of them had to get in because that was the only loss that one of them had. I get it. It'll be that way with the Pac-12 more than likely. But you're absolutely a contender.
And see, to me, I'm looking at the Pac-12 going, it's more likely that every one of you walks away with a loss and none of you are in the playoff. And it's going to be a travesty.
Yep. You're in the Sportsocracy, and this is ESPN Asheville.
The season we've all been waiting for is here. No, not that one. The season of the Big Orange Tent is underway in Western North Carolina. The area's largest selection of Halloween costumes, decorations, and accessories is at the Big Orange Tent at the Asheville Mall. Halloween Express is your one-stop shop for adult and child costumes, superheroes, horror icons, inflatable suits. You can find it all under the Big Orange Tent at the Asheville Mall. 10 to 8 Monday through Saturday, 12 to 6 on Sundays.
I believe real estate isn't about properties. It's about people. I'm Clarissa Hyatt Zach with eXp Realty, serving all of Western North Carolina. Navigating the home buying and selling journey can feel overwhelming at times, and that's why having an agent who cares about you and your needs is key. I'm a native of Western North Carolina, and I close over a home a week. I'm an expert in the market, pricing my sellers correctly to net you the most money, and working as a skilled negotiator for my buyers. Please give me a call today at 828-774-6343 to set up a complimentary market analysis.
If cleanliness is next to godliness, look around the car right now. Is that very godly? Look, life comes at you fast, but so does WNC Auto Detailing. They have the tools to make your interior look like it's coming off the showroom floor. You don't believe me? Check them out on Instagram. All that filth and years of stains disappear. WNC Auto Detailing does full interior and exterior details with paint correction, and they do wax and ceramic coatings. Call WNC Auto Detailing at 455-3700. Premium care with a Southern hospitality touch.
Hi, I'm Kyle at Blindster.com. At Blindster, we offer over 50 different custom window treatments, including faux wood blinds and shutters, all at prices less than retail. Plus, we'll send you free samples before you buy. Don't hire an expensive pro. Do it yourself and save big at Blindster.com.
Jim Gaffigan here with some more straight talk. Now you can get a Walmart Plus membership, plus not pay for it, because it's included with Straight Talk wireless plans. You get free delivery with Walmart Plus a Paramount Plus subscription included. Plus, you pay less for gas. That's a lot of pluses.
Only Straight Talk gives you unlimited 5G data and Walmart Plus included on select plans for free.
Straight Talk wireless, available at Walmart.
Requires service on Gold or Platinum Unlimited. One offer per eligible account. Paramount Plus Essential Plan only. Separate registration required. Additional terms apply.
Gillette Intimate gives guys a gentle and easy shave on there, and around there, and even under there. Don't treat your groin like junk. Respect it with Gillette Intimate, the best a man can get. Buy now at a retailer near you.
Texting enrolls you in recurring automated marketing text messages. Consent not required to purchase. Message and data rates may apply.
Leaving for the gym so early?
I'm ready to go.
Since you started taking Nugenix Total T, you've been acting like when we met in our 20s.
I feel like myself again. Lower testosterone after turning 40 slowed me down. Nugenix Total T has been a game changer for me.
What is it about Nugenix Total T that's different?
Well, it's a patented key ingredient called testofen. It boosts free and total testosterone to help you get back the drive and energy from your youth. It's backed by 5 clinical studies.
I've seen the huge difference it's made for you in the gym, at work, and in the bedroom.
I'm so glad I sent them a text for my complimentary bottle. Text HUNK to 321321 right now for your complimentary bottle of Nugenix Total T. Nugenix is the #1 selling testosterone boosting brand at GNC and Walmart. Do it now, and we'll also send you a bottle of Nugenix Thermo X, our newest, most powerful fat burner ever. Absolutely free. Text HUNK to 321321. That's HUNK to 321321.
The Sportsocracy.
Pull up your pants, take off the bra, and be a man.
Back in the Sportsocracy on ESPN Asheville inside the Ingalls studio. Low prices, love the savings. San Francisco's no doubt the best team in the league.
No doubt. They will be #1 in tomorrow's power rankings. I guarantee it.
The worst team in the NFL is who?
Now that, my friends, is much more of a competition.
Is it?
Yeah, it is. Let me guess. You're saying the Kitty Cats.
I think it's the Carolina Panthers.
I don't.
I do. I think it's the Carolina Panthers.
You at least look competitive.
Yeah.
I mean, you don't have the talent. When you're living on an offense that is nothing but hate, let's check it down to Adam Thielen 47 times a game.
Mm-hmm. They haven't looked very competitive.
Well, I mean, the bad thing for Carolina is that I can almost guarantee you're going to have given up the #1 pick in the draft for a quarterback that looks less than awesome.
Yeah.
He looks less than awesome.
Yep. Hard to look good, though, when you don't have a whole lot of time back there.
No.
You can't protect him, and your offense is terrible. You can't run the ball. You can't run a greasy peg up a cat's keister, as Jeremy likes to say.
That is one of my favorite phrases.
And your defense is very suspect. I mean, they got pounded by the Lions, and that wasn't any surprise.
No.
I mean, we all knew that,
predictable.
I felt like that was going to happen, that you were going to get dusted.
They just toyed with you.
Right. I mean, I'm not really taking any celebration laps on the fact that Bryce Young was able to throw 3 touchdown passes. I mean, yay!
Well, I mean, you want to see him. You want to see improvement. So you're going with Carolina.
I think so.
They were one of my 4 contenders, but they were not the team I settled on.
They're terrible.
The New York Giants need to be up there real high.
Absolutely.
Holy good gracious, you're bad. Just bad.
Yeah, not doing a lot.
They have. I have a little trivia question for him.
Mm-hmm.
For you.
Mm-hmm.
Can you name the players that have scored a first half touchdown for the New York Giants this year?
Oh, Jason Pinnock.
End of message. Repeat the line. That's the only one, and he's a corner.
Yep.
That was a horrible throw by Tua.
102-yard interception return for a touchdown yesterday. It was the first time they had scored in the first half of a game.
That is a bad NFL football team.
Yes. They're not good at anything.
And this is what I was trying to tell you, and you were talking about the Saquon Barkley thing. I don't care who the running back is.
Mm-hmm.
Your quarterback is still Daniel Jones, and he is horrifically bad. You know that stat I told you about Sam Howell and how he was on pace to break the sack record by, what was it, 22 or something?
Mm-hmm.
The only reason that Daniel Jones won't be right just nipping on his tails is because he's going to miss a game or two with because his long giraffe neck got sprained the 400th time he got hit yesterday. The Giants were a contender. The Panthers were a contender.
Mm-hmm.
But it really came down to 2 others for me.
Okay.
The New England Patriots you're just that close.
You're enjoying this, aren't you?
Oh, God, more than you even know. I watched so much of that yesterday. Every time New England scored, I just went, that's a shame. You really hate to see it. You do. It breaks your heart. And if it wasn't for my lowly New York Jets, you'd be 0-5, and I'd be even happier. But I'm not sure it's them either.
Really?
It's the Denver Broncos. That's the worst team in the NFL.
Yeah.
That's the worst defense I have ever seen in my life. When literally Nathaniel Hackett is telling you what he's doing every single play. Amy, I think I was about to drive her crazy last night because I can tell you exactly where this ball's going. And I think I hit like 11 in a row before I missed one. Because he finally did run a play action, and I went, oh, it's in the playbook. I didn't even know. I thought we took all those out. Andrew Ayers in the YouTube comments said, Sean Payton's not a bad coach. Yeah, he is. Yeah, he's a terrible coach. He's a terrible coach, and you deserve every iota Denver Broncos of what you're getting. You know why? Because you opened your mouth. See, this would have been a winnable game because the New York Jets are not very good either. They have a really mean defense that adjusts quite nicely, and Breece Hall is a dog. They also have training wheels on a quarterback that's in his 3rd year in the NFL, and you knew it. You knew it definitively. If Sean Payton does not open his mouth about Nathaniel Hackett, they'd have won yesterday. Totally.
Mm-hmm.
Totally. But you couldn't help it. And see, now this is I'm going to make a comparison. Sean Payton and I have a similarity because I run my mouth for a living. And so people really love taking victory laps on me when I'm wrong. Well, I'm right more than I'm wrong. Fact or fiction?
Fact.
Nobody ever tells me, I got another one. But by God, if I get something wrong, you should see the list of TikTok comments. It was 17,000 as of the last time I looked on the Evan Neal thing from last week. Not because I'm wrong, because you disagree with me. Sean Payton opened his mouth and inserted his foot. And now, in 5 games, he has made himself look absolutely like the biggest clown show in the NFL.
Mm-hmm.
And he is. And he is. And now I'm going to go one step further. I don't think he has the cojones to sit down Russell Wilson. Is Russell the problem? Yeah.
He is.
It's not the play. Stop looking at the stat line. watch the damn game.
Mm-hmm.
He has what can only be described as a rookie bonehead mistake at the end of that game. He bails out knowing they're sending pressure because they've done it for a full quarter. Bails out with the ball in one hand. It gets booped right out of his hand. Jets take it back for a touchdown, beat you.
Yep.
He walks off, and Sean Payton goes to lay into him. Did you see his response?
Russell?
He took his helmet off, kind of looked at him, said something, and walked off.
Mm-hmm.
He doesn't respect you at all. This team doesn't respect you at all because you ran your mouth about how bad Nathaniel Hackett was, and you've been worse. He was a first-time head coach. You've been doing this for 20 years, and you're the most clueless franchise in the league. Our buddy Soaring Eagle put it out in a super chat that I'm not 100% sure I can still – oh, there it is. So let me get this out of the way. Everyone in the Broncos organization, including Sean Payton, better be fired this month. Here's the thing. You can't because Nathaniel Hackett was your fall guy last year. Weird. Completely different everything. Completely new coaching staff. Weird. Second verse, same as the first. Denver Broncos football. It's not the coach. You have a loser quarterback that everybody in the building hates. It's the most I watched one game because I hate to tell you this. I don't make it a habit of watching god-awful Denver Broncos football. I get enough of that from my New York Jets. I try to watch good teams in my off time. In one game, I figured out this is not fixable. Russell, but he's throwing for yardage. I don't care. I don't care. Zach Wilson threw for yardage at times yesterday. Any quarterback that makes it to the NFL can throw for yardage. Can you rally a team? Can you rally a team in any way? Because yesterday what I saw was a team where your coach had runt his little mouth and you didn't back him up. You fumbled 4 times in an NFL football game. The only reason this game was even close is because they did too. You took a team that literally was running a 7th grade offense. Couldn't stop them.
Mm-hmm.
Couldn't stop them to save your life. And then offensively, you had Jerry Jeudy. Yep, that was it. The receiver on the opposite side of Sauce Gardner. Outside of him, 4 catches to receivers the entire day.
Mm-hmm.
Check down city to your running backs and to your boy Adam Troutman. And I'm going to say the same thing about Sean Payton that I said about the University of Miami. Man, you hate to see that, don't you? Couldn't happen to a nicer guy. That's the worst team in the NFL, and I'm not even sure it's close.
Yeah. Yeah, they are very, very
I
bad.
did not see what you said about Robert Saleh.
Oh, it was great.
Until after you said it.
It was great. Robert Saleh comes to they come to midfield after the game is done, and they reach out, and the cameras, of course, are right on them. And you just read Robert Saleh's lips, and he said, "Stay humble, coach,"
and which is a beautiful response.
And just went by his merry way. That's all he had to say, right? Because they go back to the locker room and they basically, gave Nathaniel Hackett the game ball and made him the hero.
And now Andrew Ayers again in our YouTube chat said, "Russ is not the problem. The defense is the problem." I understand what you're saying, but you're treating this team like it's a fantasy football team. And it's all in a vacuum. It's not. Because you look at the talent on that team, you shouldn't be this bad.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not saying you should be great. But yesterday you got back Justin Simmons, you got back Josie Jewell, and you got back, who was the other one that came back yesterday? Frank Clark. All 3 of those guys come back. All your veterans. Defense wasn't a lick better. Why does that happen? Because your culture is awful. Because you had this blowhard coach come in here and say, "Oh, it's all Nathaniel Hackett. He was the fall guy. Worst coaching job ever done in the NFL." And you were right until you showed up. Then you showed up and you actually did a worse job than he did. The only reason that you're not sitting at 0-5 and have been blown out 3 times is because you played one of the other worst teams in the NFL and they out-terribled you for a quarter. I love every second of this. I'm not hiding from it in any way. I told you this was coming. I'm not going to tell you exactly how I knew this was coming because I can't. I want to, but I can't. And it was super predictable to me. You made a fall guy out of a head coach. He's not the problem. You emboldened one of the most irritating people on the planet Earth to be your franchise quarterback. And now he has no accountability because he knows you're stuck with him.
Mm-hmm.
So you got 52 dudes, a lot of these guys who are young guys that are really trying to make their impression in the NFL. Marvin Mims, he had a fumble yesterday on a punt. He was just devastated. And who do you have to turn to? I watched him. They put that camera on him no less than 5 times. Who do you have to turn to? Did Russ come over and console him? No. Cortland Sutton come over and console him? No. Not that I saw. I saw him sit on the bench by himself with a towel around his neck, just going, I cannot believe I just did that. Mm-hmm. And he sat there, and they showed him over and over and over and over again. And all I could think was this is from the top down. Not the ownership. The ownership's not involved. I couldn't even tell you what the Walton family looks like. But I can tell you what Sean Payton looks like. Mm-hmm. I can tell you what he sounds like, too. Mm-hmm. I can tell you what Russell Wilson sounds like. I can tell you what he looks like. Because they're out in front of cameras. And I look at both of those guys, and I don't believe in you in the least, and you have nothing to do with me. I can only imagine what the 52 guys in that locker room are thinking when they look at these two morons collectively going, what in the world have I gotten into? This is supposed to be an offensive guru. We can't stop running screen passes. We got a little running back that's 4'7", and that's the only thing on this offense that's even kind of encouraging. And here's what would bother me the most if I was a Broncos fan. First half was competitive. It was about a heads-up game. Jets made a terrible, boneheaded decision at the end of the half that cost him points, but that's Robert Salehing. Bad clock management. Clocks. Seconds tick, never been different. Been the same way since clocks were invented. But you do all that. Jets go in at the half, completely adjust, because the only thing you did regularly was get Russell Wilson out of the pocket because the Jets are in man constantly. What's the flex to that? Okay, cool, I'll play zone. You had 1 yard in the first 24 minutes of the second half.
Wow.
1. Your net yardage, you had 23 less yards than I did. Yeah, Sean Payton's problem.
Mm-hmm.
Can it get better? Maybe. But it's going to take a whale of a shakeup. And trading off all the pieces, because that's the report now, is Denver's open for business. Call us on Jerry Jeudy. Call us on Justin Simmons or anybody else in this locker room.
Yep.
You keep sending people out. You did that with Nathaniel Hackett. The problem's not who you're sending out. It's who you're keeping in.
Mm-hmm.
He wears a number 3 and goes, let's ride.
Maybe. And then again, maybe Sean Payton will actually do what we want him to. Maybe he'll actually grow a pair.
You mark my words on this. If he had the fortitude to make the statement of, I do not care how much money you make, and sat down Russell Wilson, I guarantee you'd see a different offense. Mm-hmm. Not because Jarrett Stidham's a better quarterback. That's not it. That's not it. It's like having a bad boss. You show up, you work your tail off, and he rewards you with a pizza party. Yeah, woo, let the good times roll. Thanks for that little skeezers there, Frank. Let me go back and play on my cell phone for the next 2 hours while you think I'm doing something. We've all done it. You know you've done it, and I've done it. And that's where the Denver Broncos are.
We talked about on Friday with the Randy Gregory move, that was a shot across the bow to Russell Wilson. And then when I saw that final interaction, when he fumbled the ball away and fumbled the game away, and I saw how irate Sean Payton looked on the sidelines, and went, yeah, if he had his way, he'd do it. The question is, does he have his way? Or is ownership going to make him ride this out? You're in the Sportsocracy, and this is ESPN Asheville.
This is your Exergen Temporal Scanner weather forecast on ESPN Asheville.
Sunny and milder force out here this afternoon. Breezy winds generally out of the southwest, 15 to 20 miles per hour at times. Highs right around 70. Not as chilly tonight as we were last night. Partly cloudy skies, middle to upper 40s. Sunshine, breezy, and low 70s for Tuesday. More clouds and sunshine for Wednesday. Afternoon highs in the low 70s. Partly cloudy, middle 70s Thursday. I'm meteorologist Ken Boone at the Weather Channel.
This report is sponsored by Blindster.com.
Hi, I'm Kyle at Blindster.com. Shopping for new blinds? At Blindster, we offer over 50 different blinds, shades, and shutters at low prices, custom made for your windows, and shipping is free. Shop at home and order 10 free samples of any product before you buy. Blindster.com.
Get ready to experience the excitement.
It is the 13th year of the iHeartRadio Music Festival.
The emotions.
Love you guys. We're so happy to be here tonight.
The surprises.
Are you ready for another I can't believe it moment?
The superstars.
Such an amazing honor to share a stage with so many unbelievable artists.
And of course, the music. Relive the greatest moments from the iHeartRadio Music Festival.
You will not want to miss.
Starting tomorrow, streaming only on Hulu.
Quick, the quicker picker-upper. Bounty picks up spills quicker, and each sheet is 2 times more absorbent, so you can use less than the leading ordinary brand. So you can get back to your night. Bounty, the quicker picker-upper.
Some intimate parts need the gentle, easy trim of a Gillette trimmer, and some need the closeness and comfort of a Gillette Intimate Razor, while others need a Gillette Anti-Chafe Stick. Gillette Intimate, the best a man can get, down there. Buy now.
How powerful are new Power Scratch-Offs? More powerful than this hair metal band's signature scream.
No way, baby!
Power Scratch-Offs are packed with prizes and have power spots for more cash wins.
Show me the money! Feel the power of a win!
With Power Scratch-Offs from the North Carolina Education Lottery. Must be 18 to play. Approximate overall odds of winning range from 1 in 3.23 to 4.57. Problem gambling helpline 877-718-5543.
Running a small business is no small task. At Home Trust Bank, we work hard to prepare businesses for whatever tomorrow may bring. Your dreams are our business, and we have local experts who can help you plan for a successful future. Dependable guidance you need and service you'll appreciate. At Home Trust Bank, we take your small business banking personally. Visit your local Home Trust branch or anytime at htb.com. Member FDIC.
On the weird scale, there's Vegas, there's Florida, and there's Asheville. Let's get weird, Asheville.
Oh, what a fun day. What a fun day here in the Ingles studio.
Yeah. Oh, one of these days I'm going to find a way to have a second feed that is only the things we talk about during commercial breaks.
They do get quite comical sometimes.
Yeah. There's a lot of impressions that happen. Some of people that nobody even kind of knows.
Nobody knows, but they're hilarious regardless.
There seems to be a trend with your advertisers.
All right, let's get weird here, as if we're not weird enough. All right, this is a good one. This a guy goes to a KFC. You know, finger licking good, right? Kentucky Fried Chicken. We're fans.
Oh yeah,
big fans.
Oh, KFC that's. You want to have a cheat day on a diet? You just go to that KFC buffet and go, I'm gonna need 3 plates.
A young man named Callum Fian goes to a KFC and he starts eating his little meal and he's eating the fries out of the box. And then all of a sudden he runs into a crunchy part. Now, is this the good, really 17-time fried skin that's been left in the vat? You know, that little piece of a heart attack that just kind of melts in your mouth when you put it in there.
Can you tell we're two fat guys on diets?
And then after that, all of your pills just go down like that for a week afterwards because it's so greasy, but it's so good. No, it wasn't that part. It was a screw. He found a metal screw in his fries, in his little fry basket. And I can't get that out of my head because that is the worst sensation for me ever. Like if you're eating anything, like chicken wings, you know, you're eating chicken wings and you think you got the big meaty part and then all of a sudden you hit that gristle or that end cap on the leg and you just crunch on it. It makes my skin crawl just thinking about it. Now, think about an actual wood screw. I make fun of Jeremy because when he chews, it sounds like he's chewing wood screws because his jaw pops so much.
It does.
But this guy actually found a real screw. The thing that ticks me off about it is that he took pictures, right? That's what you're supposed to do. You got documentation of, look, I found this, and he's got the picture of the little screw with the fry, oil and stuff all over it. Clearly, it came out of this box. And apparently KFC just completely ignored him for like 3 weeks.
Well, I mean, that's fast food now, isn't it?
I guess.
It took me 27 minutes to get a salad and a cup of chili the other day. It really narrowed down what fast food restaurant it was because there's only a few of them that have chili.
Mr. Gallum finally was able to get their attention only after he threatened to go get the Kentucky Environmental Health Squad on them if they did not respond. The official statement from KFC is that they are looking into it and they take this very seriously, blah, 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 blah. I mean, this is a nightmare because it does look like a screw from the heat lamp fell into the fries. Because it's one of those little tiny, it's not like it's not a wood screw with a sharp end on it. It's one of those that looks like it came off of a kitchen appliance, like it was holding the facade on the air vent or something.
Facade. That's great. Ugh. My story comes from a state that we don't often get to tell stories about. The lovely state of Nebraska.
Oh.
2 thieves decided to burgle the exclusive Hype store in Lincoln, Nebraska.
The exclusive Hype store?
That's what the store's called. Okay. Apparently it's a high-end clothing boutique.
Uh-huh.
When they got there, they tried to pull on a strap on the front door, but they realized the door was locked, so they went. It's one of those pull-down doors, so it's got the strap that lets you pull it up and down. But it was locked and bolted to the ground, so they couldn't get through it.
Uh-huh.
They're not geniuses, and you'll see how I know that.
They're breaking in. The store's not open.
Correct.
Okay.
The store's not open.
All
They're breaking in. This was at 6-something in the morning.
I was going to say, why is there a sliding door like that?
So they break into the store by breaking through a window, and then they proceeded to steal $20,000 in merchandise. It's a lot of clothing and shoes.
Mm-hmm.
But the police in Lincoln don't believe they're going to be that difficult to find because they stole very specific kinds of shoes.
Okay.
They only stole shoes for left feet. So they stole all these shoes, but they got the display boxes. So they put the right shoe out for display, but all of the boxes of shoes they stole were the displays that only had the left foot.
Nice.
So they're going to be trying to sell these to a very niche market. You only need a left shoe? I am the man for you.
Right.
Takes a very specific kind of stupid criminal to not go, man, there's a lot of room in this box. Wonder why they package these this way. Keep throwing them in the truck.
Let's just do it. Let's go. Hey,
they have not been found.
Maybe it was intentional. Maybe Grandpa had a combine accident and he's only got a left foot, and they went, yeah, these are perfect.
Well, it's a women's boutique, so I'm gonna say.
Hey, I'm not here to judge.
Hey.
Okay.
By the way,
list your pronouns at the door.
By the way, your story about the guy getting the screw in his dinner.
Yes.
Guess they really screwed that up, didn't they? But make them laugh. Make them laugh.
You're in the Sportsocracy. This is ESPN Asheville. Worst team in the league. I still don't know that I'm on. I'm with you on the Broncos.
If you'd have watched what I watched yesterday, I think you'd have struggled to not be.
I mean, I did.
Because it was, phew, buddy. I watched. I mean, there are 3 stages of every NFL team. You got offense, defense, special teams. I watched 2 teams with 3 stages apiece, and I'm not sure 5 of them are not terrible. I think the Jets' defense is good.
Yes, they're good.
Maybe a little overrated, but good.
Mm-hmm.
And they're not San Francisco 49er good.
No.
But there's that. It's bad.
I don't think we have time to play Contender or Pretender here
don't
for the
even
NFC.
We'll have to push that into the next hour.
Yeah, let's do that after the daily draft coming up here. Man, it's just it's one of those days where I'm looking at it and I'm going, what narrative? What narrative is there that you could possibly, Jeremy, be on the Las Vegas Raiders to win this game tonight?
Oh, there's a lot of them. A, they're at home.
Yeah.
B, I don't think the Packers are a great team.
Uh-huh.
Then you get the revenge game narrative with Devontae Adams.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, look, I always – what am I getting ready to say here?
Is this the better coach, better quarterback, better at home thing?
Oh, good Lord, no.
Okay.
Certainly not better coach.
No.
But you have – because Jimmy Garoppolo is going to play tonight.
Sure.
So I think you have the better quarterback, and you're at home. So, I mean, those two are enough to put me on the lane of you win. Now, in terms of the points, I'm going to look to Vegas here, because that's what I always do when we – especially when it's a game like this where I don't really know which – I don't think either of you are great, but I don't think either one of you are awful.
Mm-hmm.
You think the Raiders are just
I think
awful.
they're terrible.
I don't. I don't think they're just terrible. They're better than that Bronco team I saw yesterday.
Sure, yeah. But they were definitely on my list for worst of.
No, at least not for me.
Yeah.
I would have gotten to 8 teams before I got to the Raiders. Because we're at a point in the NFL where the bad is shoe buddy bad. And the good is, shoe buddy good. And then there's about 16 teams where you go, hey, you're just going to show up and play each other. And who knows what's going to happen. Tennessee Titans, Indianapolis Colts. Let's flip a coin, because you'll be more accurate doing that than you will be picking who's going to win these stupid games.
Yeah, no kidding.
So Vegas does not have a tremendous belief in Green Bay. They're outside of the top 20 in the latest Vegas power rankings. And I tend to agree. I mean, look, the Lions made them look really bad. And I don't like young quarterbacks starting on the road. I get a vet quarterback in Jimmy Garoppolo that's coming out of concussion protocol. He's got a handful of vet guys. I think they'll be able to run the ball. And I could be wrong. This is one. There are about 3 games a week where I go, okay, what are the Sharps doing? And the Sharps are heavily on the Raiders, which is why this number keeps going up.
Yeah. It's just weird to me. I mean, I'm a little biased on the Las Vegas Raiders. But the Packers are the team that I look at and I go, yeah, you do have the better coach. And that whole home thing doesn't really matter to me all that much. I mean, I get that can be a rowdy crowd in Las Vegas.
Lee Bruce said Jimmy Garoppolo is not better than Jordan Love.
Yeah, he is.
Yeah, he is.
I mean, it's not by leaps and bounds.
No, I'm not saying one of them's an elite quarterback and the other one should be bagging groceries.
Dude started a bunch of games in this league, and he's
one
been
of them
to a
was the Super Bowl.
Yeah, so don't. Let's
don't
go kooky Maduki.
Jordan Love's on start number 6?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean, let's not.
Now, if you want to get into the talent for talent, okay, maybe I could get there because I do think Jimmy Garoppolo is the definition of average. But that's really what's swaying me in this game. When I saw the Vegas Sharps were on the Raiders, I had to figure out what the narrative was that was pushing that. You've got 2 mediocre teams that Vegas doesn't believe in really in any way. So the question is, which one of them is going to make the mistake? And if you told me one of these teams beat their team, it would be Jordan Love.
Yep.
Because I just have this – when I played this game out in my head, it was Marcus Peters makes a play. Jordan Love has one of those plays like he had against the Lions where he throws that god-awful interception where you just go, what in the world was that? And that's how it played out for me. This is, of all the games that I picked this week, which, by the way, Beat the Chief does come down to this week. And we did quite nicely.
We did quite nicely this week.
Combined, we were, 19-7 or something like that?
Yep. I was 10-3, and you were 9-4.
Yeah,
and we are on either side of tonight's game. He's on Las Vegas. I'm on Green Bay. So tonight can be, we're either going to tie
or you're going to win by 2.
I'm going to win by 2 again and then lose by 2 next week like I did 2 weeks ago.
Oh, no. No, tanking is, which is what you do, is you win by 2 like 7 out of 10 weeks, and you have like a 15-game lead, and then you just go completely out of your mind and get beat by 17 games in the last 5 weeks.
Yeah, guilty. I did that last year.
I was about to say that's actually happened.
That is.
2 times.
That is actually.
That's happened 2 times.
Yes. Yes, that whole hubris comes slightly before the fall thing. He says it every year because it's 100% true. But Green Bay, to me, I feel like they have more to play for. They have more hope. I feel like they have better talent. I'm not saying that Christian Watson's better than Devontae Adams. I'm just saying top to bottom on their roster, I feel like they're the better team.
I'm not disputing that, by the way.
You've got 2 stars at the, like, if we did that fun little thing like we did for Super Bowls where you see the paragraph on ESPN where they list the top 25 guys in the Super Bowl, right? Like, that would be this game. You would have Devontae Adams, Max Crosby at the top, and then you would have another Raider on there for a long time, in my opinion. So, and maybe I'm embellishing
you
just
forgot
a little bit.
Josh Jacobs.
Yeah.
I like him tonight, too.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. I don't like Vegas. I definitely don't like them tonight. Jeremy's got another banger coming up for you. His favorite parlay for tonight in Monday Night Football next. The best season of the year is here.
Tailgate season.
Monster Brewing presents this season's MVP.
The Beast Unleashed.
With 4 bold, familiar flavors.
With 0 caffeine and 0 sugar.
Beast Unleashed is your new pregame ritual.
With white haze, mean green, peach perfect, and scary berries, there's a flavor for every fan.
The Beast
Unleashed.
6% alcohol by volume. Unleashed responsibly. Must be 21 or over. Beast Unleashed. Available at your local retailer. The Asheville Championship returns to Harrah's Cherokee Center in Asheville November 10th and 12th. This year's field is the best yet. The Clemson Tigers, Maryland Terrapins, Davidson Wildcats, and the Blazers of UAB. 4 exciting matchups with a champion to be crowned at one of the premier early season tournaments in college basketball. For more information and to get your tickets, go to AshevilleChampionship.com. That's AshevilleChampionship.com. It all starts in Asheville November 10th and 12th. Proudly sponsored by Ingalls Markets.
The season we've all been waiting for is here. No, not that one. The season of the Big Orange Tent is underway in Western North Carolina. The area's largest selection of Halloween costumes, decorations, and accessories is at the Big Orange Tent at the Asheville Mall. Halloween Express is your one-stop shop for adult and child costumes, superheroes, horror icons, inflatable suits. You can find it all under the Big Orange Tent at the Asheville Mall. 10 to 8 Monday through Saturday, 12 to 6 on Sundays.
Are you a business owner, CEO, or responsible for marketing? If you are, iHeartMedia can help you reach your goals and find new customers. We reach more consumers in your target area than anyone else, and we can give you access to those potential customers more cost-effectively across radio, digital, podcasting, and social. We'd love to show you how iHeartMedia can work for you. From your cell, dial pound 250 and say keyword great results. That's pound 250 and say great results.
The future of joint pain relief is here. It's QC Kinetics, advanced regenerative medicine. This is amazing stuff. If you've been told more steroids or surgery are your only options, don't be so fast. Get a second opinion and learn more about how you can harness your body's own healing agents to attack that joint pain. I'm talking lasting relief. QC Kinetics doesn't mask the pain. These treatments go to the very root of the problem using concentrated healing properties placed directly in your joint to restore and repair that damaged tissue. Imagine living your life this fall with no more pain in your knees, your hips, your shoulder, your back, with no drugs, no downtime, and no surgery. Listen, life is about motion, and QC Kinetics is giving people their lives back with these all-natural treatments. Call the local medical professionals and get a free consultation today. QC Kinetics, the nation's leader in regenerative medicine. Call 828-333-9517. That's 828-333-9517 in Asheville and in Greenville. 828-333-9517.
This new Wendy's Frosty flavor is way too exciting to keep under wraps. It's a brand new, first-of-its-kind flavor. Get this, pumpkin spice. I know, right? It's so good. It's rich, it's cozy. It's the perfect flavor for some fall Frosty time. Watch, everyone will see it and jump on the bandwagon. Grab a never-before-seen Pumpkin Spice Frosty or Pumpkin Spice Frosty Cream Cold Brew today when you choose wisely. Choose Wendy's.
Limited time only. Participating U.S. Wendy's. Vanilla Frosty is temporarily unavailable.
Sometimes you just have to take the layup and not make things any harder than they have to be. Every day, I give you my favorite parlay, put 5 on it And if you do the same at betus.com using our promo code Sportsocracy, they'll give you a 125% deposit match and up to 30 risk-free bets. Tonight, Monday Night Football. Raiders minus the 2.5, under the 46.5. But who's going to score the points? Devontae Adams, if he can physically walk, is going to score at some point in this game. Josh McDaniels is going to make sure of it. I'm not sure the Packers can keep Josh Jacobs out of the end zone. And they have so many options that I just don't want to do anything on the Packers side. So I'm going Raiders minus the 2.5, under 46.5, Josh Jacobs and Devontae Adams anytime touchdown scores. You put 5 on it just like I am, that turns into a $55 payout. It's not a home run, but you make a lot of hay on doubles. For more, find us on all the social medias at the Sportsocracy, and take those wagers to betus.com. Use our promo code Sportsocracy so you can wager football with us all season long.
This is your Exergen Temporal Scanner weather forecast on ESPN Asheville.
Sunny and milder for us out here this afternoon. Breezy winds generally out of the southwest, 15 to 20 miles per hour at times. Highs right around 70. Not as chilly tonight as we were last night. Partly cloudy skies, middle to upper 40s. Sunshine, breezy, and low 70s for Tuesday. More clouds and sunshine for Wednesday. Afternoon highs in the low 70s. Partly cloudy, middle 70s Thursday. I'm meteorologist Ken Boone at the Weather Channel.
If you or a loved one have been a victim of crime, the North Carolina Department of Public Safety Office of Victim Compensation Services provides programs to help you find peace of mind. We are here to help you apply for benefits that you may qualify for to recover from hardships such as lost wages and medical expenses. To learn more, visit ncdps.gov/4victims. That's ncdps.gov/4VICTIMS.
The Asheville Championship returns to Harrah's Cherokee Center in Asheville November 10th and 12th. This year's field is the best yet. The Clemson Tigers, Maryland Terrapins, Davidson Wildcats, and the Blazers of UAB. 4 exciting matchups with a champion to be crowned in one of the premier early season tournaments in college basketball. For more information and to get your tickets, go to AshevilleChampionship.com. That's AshevilleChampionship.com. It all starts in Asheville November 10th and 12th. Proudly sponsored by Ingalls Markets.
Unlike other health concerns, mental illness is not always easy to see. Depression won't show up on an eye chart, and you won't find PTSD by looking at a thermometer. Sorting out a mental health concern takes professional diagnosis and treatment. Anxiety won't just go away under a bandage. If you or a loved one has a mental health concern, call 1-800-662-HELP for free and confidential information and treatment referral. Learn more at samhsa.gov/support.
From the Ingalls Studios, this is ESPN Asheville, WPEK, W225CJ Fairview, WMXF Waynesville, and iHeart Radio Station.
Now, your chance to win $1,000. Just enter this nationwide keyword on our website, bank. That's bank. Enter it now.
Log on now to ESPNAVL.com.
The Sportsocracy.
It fires me up, man. I love it. Say it one more time.
The Sportsocracy.
Shake it back!
Beer City's best sports talk.
It is gross.
Just earlier.
They are mature, actually. You just have to get to know them better.
Your lunchtime dose of dumbassery. Live from the Ingalls studio.
Back in the Sportsocracy, it is the third hour here on an Overreaction Monday. ESPN Asheville, 92.9 FM, 880 AM, 1400. And, of course, we are heard everywhere on the iHeart Radio app. And we're seen everywhere on YouTube. Go to thesportsocracy.com, click that live video link, subscribe to the channel. That way you can join us in the chat, get your overreactions in for the weekend's festivities. Monday Night Football coming up tonight, so the week is not over yet. As we do on a Monday, the top of the third hour of the program, always. It's got to be stock up, stock down from the weekend.
I feel like I should have the first pick here because I went to the coolest event of the weekend.
Yes, you did.
Jelly Roll in person. Just do it.
It's a good show.
My wife saw it here when he was at Silverado's out in Black Mountain. And then we both saw him in Bristol. He is in Greenville on Thursday. I highly, highly recommend. That is one of the best shows I've ever seen.
Wow.
And I've seen a lot of shows.
Mm-hmm. All right.
I have a reasonably high bar. Eric Church was good too. I'm not trying to undersell Chief. It was just it was very produced.
Chief?
Eric Church.
Oh, that's his nickname?
That's what they call him.
Oh, okay.
And then and by that time I was.
Is he Native American or something?
No.
Or?
At least I don't think he is. He might be.
You can't do that. That's appropriation. You can't.
No, it's. Yeah, his. By the end of it, and it might have been that I was smelling sounds and tasting colors by that time, but there was a lot of blinking things that. Ooh, this is a lot.
So it was no doubt a giant stadium production show.
Oh yeah,
like full on
at Bristol, which is that's one of the weirdest places you'll ever go in your entire life, because you get in there and go, man, this place is tiny. I feel like I could yell to somebody up there and they could hear me. Then you get on top of it and you go, ooh, there's more there than I thought there was.
Yep, absolutely. All right. So we'll give you first pick since you went to the coolest concert ever.
Oh, my stock down is, and I always start with a stock down.
Yes.
It's Sean Payton, and it's not even kind of close.
Okay.
But you did this to yourself. When you make yourself out to be the savior of the franchise, when things start exactly how they went with the previous regime, that's what you get. I would say right now, my Twitter inbox is 40% Denver Bronco fans. Just asking me, what in the world can you do to fix this? And I've had the same answer every time. There's only two answers here, and you're probably not going to like one of them. But if you think Sean Payton's the guy, you got to move Russell out of the way.
Mm-hmm.
Because there is a disconnect on that sideline that I haven't seen many times.
Mm-hmm.
To see somebody that has a resume like Sean Payton to come over and try to lay into the quarterback because they just made a completely boneheaded decision that just ended the game for you. And he just blows you off like, oh, just get out of here.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, one of you has to go.
Yep.
Because the dismissiveness from Russ puts his authority in question with the other 52.
Absolutely.
Because you all see that, and he's the highest paid Super Bowl champion quarterback, and that's the way he's going about this, then why would I respect you?
Mm-hmm.
And that's a young roster.
And that's one
And it's a young roster with talent.
Mm-hmm. And
I saw talented players.
And that's one thing that Sean Payton cannot stand. He cannot stand for.
Right? You also should fire Vance Joseph immediately. Because he is, if 5 games in, I don't need to see any more. You are real bad at this.
The ownership of this team went all in on one thing: Sean Payton. You do whatever you have to do to make this work, right? You
this is
you
also
have to give him. You have to take the reins off here, if there are any, and say, do what you have to do, but fix it now. Because we're not going to put up with this forever.
Well, there's 3 things in football team building that I have always said that you never, ever, ever, ever do. One of them is trade up for a non-franchise quarterback. I mean, if it's Caleb Williams or Trevor Lawrence or wherever down that line, okay, you give up what you need to because that guy can change your franchise in a handful of years. You never trade draft picks for a coach, and you never draft a kicker. Because when things go sideways, there's nothing for you to do. You've leveraged yourself out to such a point. They were talking about, could you fire Sean Payton in a year? No. You gave up 2 premium draft picks to get him. He knows that, too. So you got to ride it out with Payton and let him work his magic, which I'm using. I'm using that as liberally as humanly possible.
Well, he has to come to the realization of this isn't going to work. I tried. I can't fix it. So now I have to blow it up and build it from scratch.
And there are foundation pieces. I mean, Nick Bonito and Patrick Surtain, Justin Simmons. I saw guys that I went, you have a role when this is good. I also saw a lot of nepotism that was Sean Payton guys. And that when it works, that's fine. When it doesn't work, you look like a moron. and you're steering into that.
Well, that's what maybe that's
hard.
what all this has been about. Maybe all the nepotism that we're seeing here, his preferential treatment for guys like Adam Troutman, is all about getting guys on his side because his locker room is so divided.
Could be.
So I had to bring in guys that believe in me, that will stand up to Russ, that will be the ones on my side when I say this is how it needs to be.
Could be.
Because Russ wasn't that guy, right? That's all we heard in the offseason. Granted, it was from Sean Payton, but they babied him. They gave him everything he wanted, made him the culture of the franchise, and in 1 year you realize that was terrible, and now you got to tear it all down.
Well,
but now you've got a quarterback and a coach that don't see eye to eye, and you got to give the quarterback or you got to give the coach the ability to tear this down, regardless of what it costs.
Well, and I heard somebody in the last 24 hours say this is rock bottom for the Denver Broncos. No, it's not, because you play at the Chiefs next week. Then you play the Packers. Then you play the Chiefs again and at the Buffalo Bills.
Mm-hmm.
You can't even see rock bottom. Oh, you lost to the guy that destroyed your franchise? No, that ain't rock bottom. Come talk to me in about 2 months and tell me how far from that you actually were when you said that.
Yep, you're going to get there. You'll hit rock bottom very shortly. All right, stock down for the weekend. My number one, it has to be the Dallas Cowboys. Right, that's got to be the number one, to me anyway, because we went into this week, or a lot of people went into this week, believing that you were on the level of the San Francisco 49ers and the Philadelphia Eagles, and you came out of this game with all of those people going, oh, well, we're crazy. I mean, you already got Jeremy talking about how now you're the fifth best team in the NFC.
And I firmly believe that.
And I'm sure you do. And I'm sure you believe that. I do not believe that. I don't believe they've fallen that far, but
I would be willing to listen on Seattle. I like Seattle and have better than you have the entire time.
No doubt.
But to me, you're not even in the ballpark of the 49ers, the Eagles, and the Lions. Because I do put the Lions up there with the other two.
Yeah, and I can't go that far on the Lions.
Which is weird. I don't know when we flipped on that. You were higher on them.
But I'm not to the elite tier. I'm not. I look at what the Lions have done and I go, okay, you're good. You can score points and things are going well. But I mean, you did beat the Chiefs to start out the season.
You beat the reigning Super Bowl champions. You've beaten two more playoff contenders, and you absolutely squished one of the worst teams in the league.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what more you could have done to be any more impressive. Oh, you lost to the Seahawks. You lost to a Seahawks team that they had practically had to beat you.
Mm-hmm.
And yes, it was in your house, but it was in overtime too. And they were coming off a horrific bad start.
And that's kind of why they're not in that category for me. But you already lost to one of those teams that you're saying is behind them,
right behind them.
Yeah,
it's not like you're the Cowboys and you lost to the Cardinals.
No, I'm not. That's not what I'm saying. I'm not there yet with the Detroit Lions. I like them, but I still feel like the Dallas Cowboys are elite when things are good. They're winning games. They're running the ball well. They're playing defense well. They ran into a team that is just head and shoulders above them, and there's nothing you can do.
Very simple, and this is probably the best way I can explain it. Sasquatch, aliens, birds, the government, and the Dallas Cowboys. That is 5 things that you should not believe in if you're over the age of about 10 years old.
Mm-hmm. My second stock down for the weekend is Bill Belichick.
Yay! You did it so I didn't have to.
Yeah. He is now in the last 2 weeks lost by a combined 69 points. Good for you, Bill.
Last week, he got beat 38-3, 35-point deficit, the worst loss that he's ever had as a head coach. And then, and that was on the road in Dallas, then followed that up with his worst home loss in the 28-year head coaching career of Mr. Belichick. It is time to pull the plug on Mac Jones, and it has been for a real long time.
Yes, there is no doubt. This is now the second week in a row that he was taken out of the game, and it's the second week in a row that Bill has said the same thing about it. No, he's still our quarterback. He's still our quarterback, and we're going to start all over. Start all over with a new quarterback. I don't care if it's Bailey Zappi. I don't care if it's Malik Cunningham. I don't care if you go get Brian Hoyer or whoever. Somebody else has got to run this team, right? Somebody else has got to be running this offense. Bill O'Brien is not this bad of an offensive coordinator, right?
I don't think there's anything you can do.
There's no reason that your offense should look worse than it did under Pat Matricia and Joe Judge. But it does. This is a god-awful team, and the fact that, you've been trying to convince me that Robert Kraft is going to kick in that door one day and said, I'm done. You know what? 69 points in 2 weeks, that might be enough to get it done.
You want to hear stat of the day? How many teams in the NFL have scored less points than the New England Patriots?
One.
It's 0.
Oh, there you go.
There's 6 teams that have played one less game than them. They have 7 less points than the New York Giants, who haven't scored a touchdown in the first half of a game on offense. Like, it's just not hard.
But have only scored more than once in one game. So
it's the worst offense in the NFL, and it's not even kind of close. And Bill is just going, no, Max Steller quarterback. Okay, you want to go 2-15? More power to you.
Yeah,
but I don't think this is going to end how you want it to end.
They're on track right now to go 3-14, and I guarantee you there will not be another day
with 2 wins over the New York Jets. So Patriot fans can keep saying, "Well, but they beat the Jets."
There will not.
Whoa.
There will not be another day after that Bill Belichick is the head coach of this team if that happens. If he finishes 3-14, he has to walk away.
I genuinely don't see a way it doesn't happen because I don't know who you're supposed to beat.
Mm-hmm.
All right, you're at the Raiders next week. Bills, Dolphins, Commanders, Colts at the Giants. You can probably win that. Chargers, Steelers, Chiefs at the Broncos. Physically, I don't see a way that they go better than 5-12.
Mm-hmm.
I don't see it. Because anybody with an even halfway cognitive offense is going to drill you.
And there's a perfect way he can do this, right? He can grab old Gerard Mayo and pull him over in a press conference and go, "Boys, it's time for me to step away." And he got his arm around him. Good luck, kid. And turn around and walk out. And that's the last time you see Bill Belichick until they, put his name up in the rafters or whatever the hell they're going to do for him. Because he deserves every credit in the world for winning 6 Super Bowls. But his time has passed.
Mm-hmm.
And it's time to move on for the New England Patriots. I didn't think I'd be saying that, but I didn't think they could lose by 70 points in 2 weeks either.
Does that mean you're ready to admit that I was right 3 years ago when I said that exact same thing?
Yeah.
And since then, you haven't won a meaningful game of any consequence?
Yeah.
Okay. I just wanted to be sure.
Absolutely. I'm with you. But all of these final chapters, not all of them, but many of them, take time for you to figure out, yeah, maybe it's time.
The only thing I can equate New England to at this point is Milli Vanilli. This is like when the tape got stuck on Saturday Night Live. And if the good times had rolled, you were 2 attractive dudes, everybody loved you, you were winning Grammys, and then you got, girl, you know it's, girl, you know it's, girl, you know it's. Will somebody turn the tape off, please? It's time to turn the tape off.
Right. You're in the Sportsocracy, and this is ESPN Asheville. The Asheville Championship returns to Harrah's Cherokee Center in Asheville November 10th and 12th. This year's field is the best yet. The Clemson Tigers, Maryland Terrapins, Davidson Wildcats, and the Blazers of UAB. 4 exciting matchups with a champion to be crowned at one of the premier early season tournaments in college basketball. For more information and to get your tickets, go to AshevilleChampionship.com. That's AshevilleChampionship.com. It all starts in Asheville November 10th and 12th. Proudly sponsored by Ingalls Markets.
Real estate isn't about properties. It's about people. I'm Clarissa Hyatt-Zach with eXp Realty, your native realtor serving all of Western North Carolina. I will work hard for you, and I believe in doing the right thing every time. I market each of my listings to reach out-of-town buyers. I use a professional photographer and drone video on every single listing, as well as collaborate with agents across the country to find your buyer. Check me out online at clarissasellswnc.com or give me a call at 828-774-6343. It would be my pleasure to assist you through the real estate process.
Hi, I'm Kyle at Blindster.com. Want to save big on custom faux wood blinds, shutters, cellular shades, and more? Shop Blindster today and save up to 50% over comparable blinds from brick-and-mortar stores. Get custom blinds at low prices and free shipping at Blindster.com.
Discover, this is Danny.
Hi, it's Jen Coolidge. I just want to thank you for making me feel so special. I earned cash back on debit for my dinner party groceries.
That's great. But with Discover Cashback Debit, we give everyone cash back on everyday purchases. Anything else I can help you with?
Are you hungry? 'Cause everyone left after the asparagus sorbet.
Introducing Discover Cashback Debit, a checking account with cash back. It pays to Discover. Eligibility and terms at discover.com/cashback debit. Discover Bank, member FDIC.
Some intimate parts need the gentle, easy trim of a Gillette trimmer. And some need the closeness and comfort of a Gillette Intimate Razor. While others need a Gillette Anti-Chafe Stick. Gillette Intimate, the best a man can get, down there. Buy now.
At EasyCater, we know ordering food for work isn't as easy as it seems.
Lunch meeting is set for Wednesday.
We need food for 27 people.
And it has to be on time.
Client is coming.
He's vegan.
Messy eater. Where's white shirts?
You getting this?
Okay, what do we need?
Gluten-free. No more sandwiches.
Make sure there's enough. Make sure the food is hot.
Client has a hard stop at 12:30. Make sure there's plenty of spoons, tomatoes, and potatoes. Stay under budget. Every receipt. Itemize
5 more people. Lunch meeting? Just use EasyCater. Food for work delivered on time as ordered with a huge variety. 100,000 restaurants, one platform. Order 24/7 at EasyCater.com.
I feel like I'm constantly cleaning hair off my bathroom floor. At least my Swiffer Sweeper makes it easy. Sweeper heavy-duty dry cloths have ultra-thick pads to trap and lock hairs, like a hair magnet. And when I'm finished cleaning up my hair, Sweeper takes care of his too. Now the hair's gone, all thanks to Swiffer. Try Swiffer Sweeper heavy-duty dry cloths. I promise you'll love them or your money back. And also try Swiffer Sweeper Wet to make quick work of tough, sticky messes.
What's up, people? This is Cam Jordan, all-pro defensive end with the New Orleans Saints. Join me on my new podcast, Off the Edge with Cam Jordan.
There's pressure and he'll go down. And that is going to be Cam Jordan. They can't stop it.
In episodes each week, I'll bring you a different perspective of the game through the lens of my 12-plus years in the NFL. Some of the game's biggest stars will also join me to help you become a smarter football fan. Listen on the iHeartRadio app or wherever you get your podcasts.
The Sportsocracy.
These guys are a f***ing disgrace.
And we're back in the Ingalls studio here on ESPN Asheville. It is the Sportsocracy, and it's an Overreaction Monday. We're doing stock up, stock down from the weekend in the daily draft. Jeremy goes with Sean Payton at number 1. I came back with the Dallas Cowboys and Bill Belichick as stock downs. I hate focusing on the negative. I like to be the guy to focus on the positive. But, see, this is one of those things. Like, I have to focus on the negative because Jeremy will take them before I do if I don't.
Fact. Because I have a bunch of stock downs.
I'm gonna try to squeeze some stock ups in here, though. You got a stock up yet?
I do.
Okay.
Brock Purdy.
Yep.
Now there's people like me that said, oh, he's not that talented. He's not a top 15 talent, blah, 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 blah. You don't have anything anymore. Because now I can't just say, well, you keep beating bad teams. You annihilated a contender.
Yep.
And I think the MVP thing is a little ludicrous because I'm looking at Tua Tagovailoa going, if you stay upright, you're going to win MVP. Because you may break the NFL yardage record and you might obliterate it.
Quite possible.
But there's no but anymore. You are elite in this offense. You are a perfect fit for this. And somebody is going to have to go into San Francisco and beat them to keep them from being your 2023 NFL champion, San Francisco 49ers.
I agree.
We talked about that one, so I didn't feel like I had to give that much credence.
No. I mean, Brock's been fantastic. 4 touchdown passes yesterday. Forget about it.
My next is a stock down, and it is for Mario Cristobal. You had gotten to a point where talent-wise, especially after what you did to Texas A&M, it was easy to look at Miami and go, man, that team's got talent, that team's got players, that team's got dudes. They just have to avoid the speed bump.
Mm-hmm.
And not only did you hit the speed bump, you hit it in a game that was over with an unfathomable play call. And you lost at home to a team that had just been drugged down the sidewalk by Bowling Green. It's as bad of a loss as you will ever see in college football. And your reward for that is you get to take a week off. Or sorry, I'm looking at the wrong schedule. Your reward for that is this week you get, who's that team that's they score 1 billion points? The North Carolina Tar Heels. And then who do you get the week after that? Oh, the Clemson Tigers. You get a little layup with Virginia, but, we've seen that you're not great with layups. NC State, also layup. And then you get at Florida State and Louisville. Now, in one game, you went from you could be a contender in the ACC to you better mind your P's and Q's or you're not going to make it to a bowl game.
Mm-hmm.
And we have seen that Miami is notoriously quick on the trigger of coaches.
I don't see how you're not.
It may be the worst loss I've ever seen in college football.
It was real bad.
I don't know that I've ever seen one that I just looked at and went, I don't know how you come back from that.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what you would have to do to take that out of my memory.
You can't. That's something you can't unsee. You can't unsee.
You have to win out and win the ACC.
Good luck.
Seriously.
Yeah, good luck.
Other than that, this season will be remembered by, hey, you remember that idiot coach that didn't kneel on it when he could have?
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
And you're just not going to. Your schedule's evil, and I'm not sure you don't get just boat raced at Carolina this week.
Mm-hmm.
Because you got to think about the mental makeup of this is 18, 19, 20-year-old dudes that are going, we were talking about we could be a national title contender because we got all these teams on our schedule that we knock off, we win the ACC, we're in the playoff. And because of a comically stupid coaching decision, now all of that's out the window.
Right.
Now you're just hoping you finish 9-3 and everybody keeps their job. You're primed for a horrific letdown.
Yep.
And I've seen what Carolina can do to you because they just did it not that long ago.
Mm-hmm. I mean, it was bad enough.
Notorious B.I.G. has a really good point. He says, Jeremy, you don't remember the 2012 Iron Bowl? No, I remember it quite well. I was actually on the phone with my girlfriend at the time who had said, wouldn't it be funny if they blank, blank,
was
blank,
that the
and
kick
then they
six?
did. Yes.
Yeah.
Wouldn't it be funny if they returned this kick? And I went, nobody ever does that. They did.
And they did. And it was one of the greatest moments in history.
No doubt. The difference there is one of them was Nick Saban and one of them was Mario Cristobal. One of them had a lot more credits in the bank account than old Mario has.
Yep.
Because every bit of good you had put in the credit column was just debited. Mm-hmm. So now you're back to square one at best if you're not overdrawn. And I would argue you're probably overdrawn.
Yeah. It's bad enough that you didn't kneel the ball when you had a chance to ice the game away. It's how the hell did you let them go 75 yards in 2 plays? That last touchdown, that touchdown, the walk-off or whatever, was comical when you see one white jersey behind 5 black ones and go, oh, yeah, that guy plays on this team.
Mm-hmm.
How did you let that happen? I have no idea. So I'm right there with you on the Mario Cristobal stock down dumbass of the week. I got 2 stock ups and full, me, no homer. Georgia Bulldogs, because you needed that.
Hashtag no homer.
Nope. You needed that.
I agree.
You needed to come out. You needed to look dominant against a team that everybody else thinks is good. You got a top 20 team in Kentucky, came in between the hedges, and you were just unrelenting. The defense looked like a dominant defense again. The offense looked incredible. I don't know what quarterback that was, but somehow Carson Beck, he turned into Joe Montana because he had a damn near perfect day.
Well, that's what happens when, and I'm not going to lie to you, about the time I hit the button on taking Kentucky plus 14.5, I started thinking about that, and I went, they've heard all the idiots like me that have said that, and you might catch a very angry group of Bulldogs.
Mm-hmm. I
had better's remorse. I went, I wish I could take that back. I missed 2 6-leg parlays on that game.
Oh, man. That's rough. That's right. But I was right there with you because they'd played close to everybody, and we hadn't seen that step yet. You saw it. You saw national championship caliber Georgia in that Kentucky game. Now, can you keep it up? Can you keep doing this week in and week out despite the large spreads that you're going to have and the sleepy times that are coming? Because they're coming. You got teams here on your schedule. You're going to show up and you should just walk through this. Kirby Smart keeps preaching no more complacency, no more complacency. This team is going to roll to the SEC title. And the North Carolina Tar Heels, they're my second stock up.
Hashtag no homer.
Hashtag no homer. 40-7 over Syracuse. No, Syracuse is not good.
No.
But I didn't care.
Can we stop falling for that every year when they start 4-0 and we go, oh, the basketball schools are so good? They haven't played not nary a team.
No.
Not in the first month of a season in like 10 years.
Mm-mm.
I think this is the 7th time I've seen them do that. Where, oh, look how good the Blue Bloods are.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's because they don't play anybody.
Yep. They're not good, but North Carolina was good. They played dominant on the defensive side. You have to do that against bad teams, right? You have to look like you're competent. And that offense is terrifying. And with Tez Walker being thrown into the mix, he had 6 catches for 40-something yards. Didn't mean a lot in the stat book, but it does to the growth of this team because he is the number one. And as he gets more into the fold here, this passing offense is going to become more and more terrifying. And I think that, there might be some people that might have some spears on their helmets that might get a little uncomfortable the better that this North Carolina team gets down to the end of the season.
I don't want to play North Carolina. I want to play Louisville.
I want to play Louisville.
Colin Green in the YouTube chat said, have we talked about the Saints at all today? The hate is obvious. Well, you just didn't give me enough time because they're my next stock up.
Okay.
I understand how bad New England is. I get it. But to go in there and do that to that coach, I don't think Dennis Allen could have done that a year ago. And, yes, you just did what you were expected to do, but you did it in very big fashion. And I've kind of gotten to the point where, you know what, the NFC South is better than we thought, except for the Carolina Panthers.
Mm-hmm.
And there may be 2 playoff teams in that division. Because I do not think they're the mid and bottom of the NFC is pretty horrific.
I was going to say, gross.
And we're going to talk about some of those teams coming up. But New Orleans, that was an impressive win that needed to be mentioned.
Mm-hmm.
I have another impressive win that needs to be mentioned that we haven't talked about because we were on air while it was happening. Douglas, if you will, Eugene Peterson Esquire.
Mm-hmm.
You needed that real bad. That's the Jacksonville team I thought we were getting. I'm picking Doug Peterson here, but I kind of want to take the entire Jacksonville Jaguars organization.
Okay.
Because that's the game I needed to see from Trevor Lawrence. It was dull as dishwater for 3 quarters. And it was dull until it wasn't. And when you were called upon, you found the way to do all the things you need to. And that's a win Jacksonville needed because I just said the NFC South is better than we thought it was. The AFC South is too. I don't think any of them are great, but they're all better than I thought they were.
Mm-hmm.
So this is not going to be the walk in the park that I thought it was going to be. And Jacksonville with 2 good wins in London. Now, how do you respond coming back from London without a bye week?
Mm-hmm. That's going to be the important
that is been rattling around in my brain. I heard Travis Etienne say that they were much better prepared the second week because they were acclimated to the time change. And in my head, all I could think about was, yeah, but you have to fly back and play on Sunday. And I don't know if you've ever had a time change that you were that adjusted for that long. It takes several days to get back to right. So just something to keep an eye on.
Okay. All right. Final stock up for the week. Why not? Let's just do that. Give me your best kitty cat growl. That's not bad. Not bad.
I don't know
feel
which
like it was
side
your best.
I don't know which side you're going on this. So
Well, you're not going to be able to guess either because I'm going hometown. I'm going Western Carolina Catamounts.
Oh,
baby.
wow.
52-50. It was a barn burner, but they went into UTC, beat the Mocs. This team is now 4-1 or 5-1 on the season. They get a bye week this week, and don't look now, but the Western Carolina Catamounts are ranked inside the top 10 in the FCS, and coming up after their bye week, they got a top 10 showdown with Furman, which is basically going to be for the SoCon title. They have been playing really good football lately, and they have got a hell of a running back on that team, and just hats off to Western Carolina for having the best season I can remember. They are on a roll, and you know what? I hope that they can make a push in the FCS playoffs because I can't remember us ever having a team other than the Appalachian State Mountaineers that have ever made any noise in the FCS playoffs. And as much as we don't cover FCS football, you got to give a hats off to Western Carolina, who for years has just been not good.
I mean, their only loss was at Arkansas.
Right. And they'll take on a Furman team whose only loss this year is to South Carolina.
Eat and Sleep Football said no Steelers. If I had another one, it would have been a stock down on John Harbaugh. You got beat on the thing that made you a head coach. That's double points.
You're in the Sportsocracy. This is ESPN Asheville. When we come back, it'll be time for the most important message of the day.
This is your Exergen Temporal Scanner weather forecast on ESPN Asheville.
Sunny and milder for us out here this afternoon. Breezy winds generally out of the southwest, 15 to 20 miles per hour at times. Highs right around 70. Not as chilly tonight as we were last night. Partly cloudy skies, middle to upper 40s. Sunshine, breezy, and low 70s for Tuesday. More clouds and sunshine for Wednesday. Afternoon highs in the low 70s. Partly cloudy, middle 70s Thursday. I'm meteorologist Ken Boone at the Weather Channel.
Sponsored by Blindster.com.
Hi, I'm Kyle at Blindster.com, and I sell custom blinds designed for do-it-yourselfers. Unlike stock blinds offered at big box retailers, Blindster blinds are custom made for your windows and shipping is free. Don't hire an expensive pro. Do it yourself and save big at Blindster.com.
Today, Western Carolina Orthopedic Specialist is ready to help you get back in motion. If you're suffering with knee, hip, shoulder, or other joint or muscle pain, we have the compassionate, individualized care you need. From sports medicine to total joint replacement, we can address the pain and get you moving again. Today and every day. Visit us online at westerncarolinaortho.com or call 828-452-4131. We get you back in motion.
How powerful are new Power Scratch-Offs? More powerful than this hair metal band's signature scream.
No way, baby!
Power Scratch-Offs are packed with prizes and have power spots for more cash wins.
Show me the money! Feel the power of a win!
With Power Scratch-Offs from the North Carolina Education Lottery. Must be 18 to play. Approximate overall odds of winning range from 1 in 3.23 to 4.57. Problem gambling helpline 877-718-5543.
Evelyn Charities is moving. Come by their current location at 50 Westgate Shopping Center for their moving sale. October 9th through the 13th from 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. Items for sale include a boardroom table with 10 chairs, a leather couch, end tables, lamps, desks, office chairs, bookshelves, and more. Price to sell. First come, first serve. Support Evelyn Charities and get great deals on items for your office during the moving sale. Westgate Shopping Center, October 9th through 13th. Items must be picked up by Friday, October 27th.
Some intimate parts need the gentle, easy trim of a Gillette trimmer. And some need the closeness and comfort of a Gillette Intimate Razor. While others need a Gillette Anti-Chafe Stick. Gillette Intimate, the best a man can get, down there. Buy now.
Running a small business is no small task. At Home Trust Bank, we work hard to prepare businesses for whatever tomorrow may bring. Your dreams are our business. And we have local experts who can help you plan for a successful future. Dependable guidance you need and service you'll appreciate. At Home Trust Bank, we take your small business banking personally. Visit your local Home Trust branch or anytime at htb.com. Member FDIC.
We're back counting down to kickoff. Let's look at today's 3 keys to premium pre-gaming with Beast Unleashed, presented by Monster Brewing. Number 1, beat the heat.
Unleash the beast with bold, familiar flavors, 0 caffeine, and 0 sugar.
Number 2, running the option.
There's 4 to choose from: White Haze, Peach Perfect, Scary Berries, and my personal favorite, Mean Green.
And number 3, at 6% ABV, Max Protect.
Always drink responsibly, and you must be 21 or over.
Beast Unleashed, available at your local retailer. Back in the Sportsocracy, and it is time for the most important message of the day, Jeremy Green.
Don't do crimes!
Yeah, don't do crimes. And you know what? If you're a lawmaker, I'm not for passing legislation that would allow certain people to do certain crimes, right? It's just, it makes sense, right? If there's a law on the books that you're not allowed to do this, then everybody's not allowed to do this, right?
Correct.
All right. Well, lawmakers in St. Louis, Missouri apparently don't agree, some of them anyway. We don't do politics on this program, so you can guess what side of the aisle this little gem is coming from.
Aside from jokes. We do jokes.
But the lawmakers there are debating a bill that has been introduced that would exempt homeless individuals or houseless individuals from laws against...
Don't steer into that.
Against public urination and defecation.
Oh, yeah, let them poop on the streets. That's a
great
idea.
idea. Yeah, absolutely.
That's fantastic.
The bill was introduced on Friday, and they're going to be discussing it and voting on it shortly. It says after every sporting event, after Mardi Gras, we see people engaging in public urination. But enforcing those laws against that segment of the population is not the same as the enforcement that we see against our unhoused population.
Hey.
Never a good idea to allow people to just freely go where you may.
Usually in this segment, I say, don't do crimes. This time I'm going to say, don't poop on the streets. It's gross, okay? It's gross.
If it's a crime for me, it is a crime for thee.
Look, if it's a crime for Scruffy, it's a crime for you, okay? My neighborhood, there's a $250 fine if you let your dog do it. Stop it!
$250,000 fine if you do it.
My story is the definition of the machines are rising up against us.
Mm-hmm.
My story is about one man named Jaswant Singh Chahal. He has a chatbot girlfriend, or he had.
No, she broke up with him?
Nope, I'm going to assume they broke up because the chatbot girlfriend was used against him in his trial because he decided he was going to kill Queen Elizabeth II. He ascended the walls of Windsor Castle armed with a crossbow and had apparently told his chatbot girlfriend that was his intention since he was an adolescent. Well, apparently he had a break with reality. He showed up, tried to do it, and when they asked him, he was wearing a Star Wars mask and said, and I quote, "I'm here to kill the Queen." He was just sentenced to 9 years in prison, which seems incredibly light to me. And the chatbot girlfriend was used in his trial.
Mm-hmm.
Don't fraternize with the computers, okay? Just there's somebody out there for everybody.
Yeah.
You know, and some of you need to find that person. I found that person. I'm a very lucky man.
Mm-hmm.
Met HWA. There's no person on this planet better crafted for me because we're equally screwed up individuals.
This is why you should never be in a relationship with a computer.
100%.
Come on. That computer's always going to tell on you.
100%. And there's a lot of things that could be really painful. Sorry. Make them laugh.
Mm-hmm.
Make them laugh.
You're in the Sportsocracy. This is ESPN Asheville on an Overreaction Monday.
That's not what they mean by hard drive. Boop. And moving on.
There was another one in there, and I just don't feel like doing the floppy disk joke today. The NFC. In the NFC, who's a pretender and who's a contender? Jeremy, who you got first?
Oh, in the NFC, there's one team that I can't figure you out. I don't know what you are. And your quarterback was good yesterday, and I don't think he meant to. The Atlanta Falcons.
Of course he didn't mean
you had
to.
Desmond Ridder throwing for 330 yesterday. You are a witch.
21-19, Falcons winning in a walk-off field goal by Young Hui Koo.
Well, here's my question. What do we have to do? There's two things about the Atlanta Falcons. A, your coaches need to shave those weird mustaches because it looks like you should not be NFL head coaches. You should be recreational pizza delivery boys in a film that you have to be over 18 years old to watch. Stop doing that! The other I can't understand is why do you keep giving Tyler Algier more touches than Bijan Robinson? What does he have to do to make you understand that he is the best player on this team and it's not even kind of close? Oh, we're trying not to give him too much too quick. He had 2 one-handed catches yesterday, one of which went for a touchdown that I am not sure any other person in this league could have produced. And yet
Aiden
somehow,
Hutchinson can. Did you see his one-handed grab?
I did.
It was pretty similar. It was pretty similar to Bijan's.
And also, just so you know, I live by the credo of no homer. Career interceptions, Aiden Hutchinson 4, Sauce Gardner 2. Should have had 2 yesterday, but he couldn't catch it. I don't know what to do with Atlanta. I think your defense is good. I don't know where you're at because you keep doing this thing where, hey, we look good one week, and then the next week we look like piddle, and then we look good again, and you got 3 wins over teams that I don't know that any of them are any good.
They are a good-ish, mediocre team.
Can they be the 7th seed in the NFC?
Yes. I think there's a long shot. I think it's a long shot. But
I don't because I'm looking at the schedule. You play a lot of bad teams.
Yeah, they got the Commanders. They got the Vikings. They got the Bucks. They've got, the Bucks twice, obviously. The Panthers, they still got to play them once. They got the Bears. But other than that, there's not another game on there where I go, yeah, you're definitely better than that team. Atlanta, I feel like, is just a good, bad team. Like they're at the top of the rest of the league. They're like at number 17 on the power rankings, and they never move from that spot. It's like them and the Pittsburgh Steelers are just locked into mediocrity.
I tend to agree. Both good defenses with a very inconsistent quarterbacks. So I will
very frustrating running games.
I will say playoff contender, but playoff win pretender.
Yes,
you're not winning a game in the playoffs with Desmond Ridder.
No, not at all.
And I walked away from yesterday going, "That's the best game Desmond Ridder will ever play in his life." And I also looked at the Houston Texans defense and went, "You're not as good as I thought you were."
And sometimes that happens. But they've beaten the Packers that way. They've beaten the Texans that way, where you had to come back in the fourth quarter to win it on the last possession, and good for you. That's scrappiness, right? That's all the things that we laud Mike Vrabel and his Tennessee Titans for, just being able to gross out wins. And you can gross out 7 to 9 of them.
Yes. and if you get very lucky, that might be enough to make the playoffs. Which leads me to the next team, contender, pretender, the New Orleans Saints.
Contender.
I will say contender.
I mean, beating one of the worst teams in the league, 34
But you didn't just beat them; you beat them to death.
I get
Nobody gets beat like that in the NFL.
I get it. I mean, except for the New York Giants.
The New York Giants make a habit of it. They have a very specific kind of, you know where I was headed with that. They like just get the sin beat out of them. I saw a side of the Saints yesterday that that can be the team I thought they were.
They can be that against New England, but can they be that against good teams? Because we haven't really seen it, right?
Well, the good thing is that you don't have to do that again, but one time for the rest of until the end of October or November, actually, because they play the Texans, Jaguars, Colts, Bears, Vikings, Falcons. There are a lot of wins on that schedule.
Maybe.
Oh,
maybe. Not all of those are givens. I mean,
well, the Texans is not a given. The Jaguars is not a given.
Exactly.
I would say the
And the
Bears,
Colts
the
isn't a
Vikings,
given.
the Bears and the Vikings is.
Bears and the Vikings, I'll agree with you.
I don't know.
But the Texans, Jaguars, Colts, you come out of that 3-0, boom, I'm right back on your side.
Okay, I use that poorly. There are a lot of winnable games, not a lot of layups. Because nothing in the NFL is layup.
Yes.
Because we have to be inclusive.
Just fair. New Orleans, I think they are a contender, but I feel like, them and Tampa are contenders because I think that division is going to be won by one of them.
I will say New Orleans is going to win that division, and there's a great possibility that there's a wild card between the Bucs and the Falcons. Bucs didn't play this week, so obviously there's no new information. It's exactly what we said last week.
No, and last week you're going to and next week you're going to see them get stomped by the Detroit Lions, and you're going to go, oh, yeah, they lost to a good team.
That's there you are. There it is. My next one, and I've got two more here.
Okay.
The Los Angeles Rams. I don't know what to do with you.
You're a pretender who, you're trying to masquerade as a contender, but I don't see a path. I don't see a path where this division's getting 3 teams in to the playoffs.
Well, see, that's where my problem is. And I'm looking at games with the Steelers and the Cowboys and all of the other things that you have to do. And look, you've definitively hit on Puka Nacua, the Cooper Kupp return. You're going to be tough to deal with offensively.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's time to have a realistic talk about Sean McVay. Not that he's a bad coach, but you get away from the run in a way that I don't understand, and now you've done it in 4 of your 5 games this year, and you've lost 3 of the 4 that you did it in.
Mm-hmm.
I almost feel like Sean McVay with Stafford, he's like a little kid with a toy, and all right, you got to go to bed, Johnny. Like, you got school in the morning, but I want to play with Aquaman or whatever it is. But you can't. You got to be somewhat balanced. Because yesterday they moved the ball reasonably well for, 2 quarters?
Mm-hmm.
And then Philadelphia just went, nope, and we're done. And I look at your defense and just go, you got picked apart.
Yeah. If you want to be a competitive team, sure, you got to be balanced. Very few teams are like the Buffalo Bills, who can't run the football but are still competitive.
Look,
the Los Angeles Rams are not that.
Sean McVay is a very good coach. It's just I almost feel like you've been too successful for too long, and now you think you can outsmart everybody. That game should have been more competitive yesterday than it was, and I put a lot of that right at the feet of McVay.
But is it because of the running game? Is it because he's not handing the ball to Kyron Williams?
Kyron Williams has been pretty good.
Yeah, I guess.
Watch the tape. He's been pretty good. The problem is that he's good for 2 quarters, and then you need to put him on a milk carton because they completely seem to forget he's on the field.
Mm-hmm.
And look, there's a lot of things that were working, but then you became so one-dimensional that it was not hard for Philadelphia to just go, hey, hellhounds, every single play. Because they knew heads up they couldn't cover Kupp and Nacua. So how do you deal with that? I'm just going to heat you up regularly. And like Gigi Gamling said, they couldn't get any pressure. If you can get, and this was my fear with them coming into the season, is that if you can impede Aaron Donald the way that the 49ers just did with Micah Parsons, they cannot get home. And it's practically impossible to win in the NFL that way.
Mm-hmm.
And that's where they are.
Yeah.
I think there's a lot of similarities between them and the Arizona Cardinals. Both have reasons to be optimistic because you're better than we thought you were. I just don't know that it's going to translate into a ton of wins.
Mm-hmm. See, Sean McVay ran the ball a lot back in the day when he had a good running back, right? When Todd Gurley was there, he didn't do that. He didn't shy away from the run. It's ever since he hasn't had a running back that you can trust that he's done that. So, to me, that's the only thing I can think of is why he's not running the ball like he used to, because I've got Kyron Williams, because I've got Cam Akers.
And I'm not asking that you have to run it the way you did with Todd Gurley. You can't go 3 or 4 drives without doing it once.
Mm-hmm. That's a good point.
And he's done that 3 times now.
Okay. All right.
I watched enough of that game to go, this should be closer than it is. And it never felt that way. And then when Philadelphia slammed that door, it was like, okay, well, it almost seems like they know your play calls.
All right. Do you have another one?
I do.
All right, we'll get to it after the break. We gotta take a break here. We'll get it close out with the final one of the NFC Contenders or Pretenders next.
It's the season of back to school, back to work, and back to all the wonderful fun, flavors, and friendships that make fall one of the best times of the year. For us at Ingalls, it's the season of festivals, fairs, and favorite dishes. And from football kickoffs to baseball playoffs, from farm fields to soccer fields, we'll be there to help this fall be the best season of the year. Ingalls, we're with you every step of the way.
The season we've all been waiting for is here. No, not that one. The season of the Big Orange Tent is underway in Western North Carolina. The area's largest selection of Halloween costumes, decorations, and accessories is at the Big Orange Tent at the Asheville Mall. Halloween Express is your one-stop shop for adult and child costumes, superheroes, horror icons, inflatable suits. You can find it all under the Big Orange Tent at the Asheville Mall. 10 to 8 Monday through Saturday, 12 to 6 on Sundays.
I believe real estate isn't about properties. It's about people. I'm Clarissa Hyatt-Zach with eXp Realty, serving all of Western North Carolina. Navigating the home buying and selling journey can feel overwhelming at times, and that's why having an agent who cares about you and your needs is key. I'm a native of Western North Carolina, and I close over a home a week. I'm an expert in the market, pricing my sellers correctly to net you the most money, and working as a skilled negotiator for my buyers. Please give me a call today at 828-774-6343 to set up a complimentary market analysis.
Have your outdoors and running water, too, with Luxury Lou, the tasteful solution to portable bathroom rentals. Family-owned and local, Luxury Lou Rental provides modern bathrooms on the go with running water, AC and heating, flushable toilets, and elegant designs. Luxury Lou's are perfect for weddings, corporate events, remodels, and more. Don't leave your well-dressed guests to use a dirty porta-potty john.
Ew!
Turn to Asheville natives. Luxury Lou. Visit LuxuryLousRental.com.
The last thing you need on the way to the game is a flat tire. Ensure that you'll make the game on time with new tires from Black Mountain Tire Connection. With 22 years of experience serving the East Asheville area, Black Mountain Tire Connection offers all major tire brands. Black Mountain Tire Connection keeps you running with tire and auto service, including alignments, brakes, state inspections, oil changes, and minor repairs. Schedule service now at blackmountaintire.com.
Every day, you breathe in thousands of microscopic germs, allergens, and viruses. Don't let these invisible invaders make breathing through your nose impossible. Flush them out with Navage. Navage uses powered suction to pull saline in one nostril around the back of the nose and out the other nostril, helping flush out all the nasty things that make you miserable. Nearly 4 million people use Navage to breathe better, snore less, and feel healthier. People like Cindy, a verified Navage user who writes, "I've had such awful nasal congestion for the last couple years. I bought Navage and OMG, I can breathe again. I love this thing. Goodbye neti pot, hello Navage." End quote. If you suffer from sinus congestion, allergies, or snoring, then Navage is the safe, drug-free solution you've been looking for. Navage is at Walmart, Walgreens, CVS, Rite Aid, Target, and Navage.com. Navage. N-A-V-A-G-E. Clean nose, healthy life.
Back in the Ingalls studio on ESPN Asheville, it's the Sportsocracy and our final NFC Contender or Pretender on this Overreaction Monday.
The Minnesota VIkings.
Oh, Pretender.
They're bad.
Not even close.
And this the reason I wanted to bring this one up is you want to know why I dismiss every time you tell me that teams play with teams? It's the Minnesota VIkings.
Mm-hmm.
Because you watch them and you go, oh, you're bad. You're bad. I mean, they were the 5th team that I considered putting in the worst team in the NFL. Your one win is against the Carolina Panthers. You've played 5 one-score games. All of them have been close. The problem is you're not any good.
Yep.
I don't think your coach is any good. And I just look at Minnesota and go, this is a team that needs to be just exploded.
Mm-hmm. They already started it in the offseason, and now you need to trade Kirk Cousins.
Correct. There's somebody there is, and I don't know who it is. I don't think it's going to be the Jets. They seem to be fine with a cherub boy.
Right.
But this is just, it's not a winning formula. Mm-hmm. It wasn't a winning formula. Last year, you were fool's gold last year, and all of it is it's bearing itself out now.
Yep.
And you're going to keep doing this.
Mm-hmm. Wait till they lose by 3 to the Chicago Bears in Chicago, and then come tell me that this team is anything.
And now Justin Jefferson's hurt.
Mm-hmm.
And so you think this offense is inconsistent and weird before? Wait do you see what it's going to look like now?
Yep. I fully agree. Enjoy Monday Night Football tonight. We got the Green Bay Packers and the Las Vegas Raiders, and Beat the Chief is on the line between me and Jeremy. We'll have your full recap tomorrow, plus a Power Rankings Tuesday here at noon on ESPN Asheville.
This is your Exergen Temporal Scanner weather forecast on ESPN Asheville.
Sunny and milder for us out here this afternoon. Breezy winds generally out of the southwest, 15 to 20 miles per hour at times. Highs right around 70. Not as chilly tonight as we were last night. Partly cloudy skies, middle to upper 40s. Sunshine, breezy, and low 70s for Tuesday. More clouds and sunshine for Wednesday. Afternoon highs in the low 70s. Partly cloudy, middle 70s Thursday. I'm meteorologist Ken Boone at the Weather Channel.
The future of joint pain relief is here. It's QC Kinetics, Advanced Regenerative Medicine. This is amazing stuff. If you've been told more steroids or surgery are your only options, don't be so fast. Get a second opinion and learn more about how you can harness your body's own healing agents to attack that joint pain. I'm talking lasting relief. QC Kinetics doesn't mask the pain. These treatments go to the very root of the problem using concentrated healing properties placed directly in your joint to restore and repair that damaged tissue. Imagine living your life this fall with no more pain in your knees, your hips, your shoulder, your back, with no drugs, no downtime, and no surgery. Listen, life is about motion, and QC Kinetics is giving people their lives back with these all-natural treatments. Call the local medical professionals and get a free consultation today. QC Kinetics, the nation's leader in regenerative medicine. Call 828-333-9517. That's 828-333-9517 in Asheville and in Greenville. 828-333-9517.
We all know Goodwill. But did you know when you donate stuff to Goodwill, you help provide job training for people right here in your community? Goodwill. Donate stuff, create jobs. Find your nearest donation center at goodwill.org. A message from Goodwill and the Ad Council.
The Sportsocracy.
Let's open up the whole can and kick ass and kill them all. Let the paramedics sort them out.
From the Ingalls Studios, this is ESPN Asheville, WPEK, W225CJ Fairview, WMXF Waynesville, and iHeart Radio Station.